Good evening, everybody. How are we doing? I see we've already got 9 people watching. Usually, I would stick to my game plan, but since the God Emperor himself is taking the stage literally as I speak, we're going to honor MAGA, America First. That's what I tell my children the AF stands for, anyways. We're going to honor that, make sure that everything's going well here on Rumble. Hope everyone had a great week, by the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate you. There are so many other streamers, giant streamers, Crowder, Robert Gavea, Dan Bongino, everybody else is streaming. They've got thousands of people. If I only have 9 or 10 people, I appreciate the hell out of you guys watching. Really do. Really do. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. We're going to go ahead. We've got some topics. I was going to do RNC second, but since Trump is literally taking the stage, let's go ahead and share the screen and give the God Emperor his due. We're going to listen to Donald Trump's speech. Let me make sure that my audio is coming in. That's the first thing that I need to do. Bear with me for a moment, y'all. Where am I at? Un momento, por favor. We are good. Awesome. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get Trump on here. And then we'll go talk about the shooting and everything after that. But let's listen to what Trump has to say. Audio on.
Beautiful, beautiful song. Thank you.
If that's too loud, let me know. If it needs to be turned up,
Friends,
let me know.
Delegates, and fellow citizens,
watching on Rumble,
I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Together, we will launch a new era of safety, prosperity, and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. The discord and division in our society must be healed. We must heal it quickly. As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Still got the cape on, y'all. That man, what it is I'm Trump for Halloween because the man is practically bulletproof. Teflon Don don't play.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we will do it right. We're going to do it right. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within 1/4 of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that.
Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely a God thing. There's no other explanation I have for
The
it.
amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper, and then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. They're
Oh, I just noticed the backdrop.
incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. No?
Yes, he is. God meant for him to make it. God meant for him to miss that, for
Thank
him
you.
to turn his head at the right moment.
But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Praise God.
In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead. And there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay.
Heck yeah.
I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
Fight, fight.
Thank you. Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no
Hell yeah.
crowd I have ever heard before.
Hell yeah.
Never heard anything like it.
USA.
For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey Comparator. Unbelievable person, everybody tells me.
Rest in peace, Corey. That man died of
And
father.
seriously wounded. Two other great warriors, spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. Two great people. I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated. And two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly, acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
Corey. That's his. Holy crap. Wow.
I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've
Amazing.
raised $6.3 million.
Heck yeah. Hope they're able to do something good with that money and help the
For
family
the
and
families of David, James,
families.
and Corey, including from a friend of mine, just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million from Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan.
Awesome.
And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay.
Good.
They're going to be doing very well.
Good deal.
The Warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours, and this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know I'm fired up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fired the hell up. In a very peaceful and patriotic way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Our resolve is unbroken and our purpose is unchanged to deliver a government that serves the American people better than ever before. Nothing will stop me in this mission because our vision is righteous and our cause is pure. No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend,
Nope.
we will not back down, and I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country. Never.
Heck yeah.
And everything I have to give with all of the energy and fight in my heart and soul, I pledge to our nation tonight. Thank you very much. I pledge that to our nation. I'm going to turn our nation around, and we're going to do it very quickly. Thank you. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before.
Yeah.
In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country.
How's it going, Sully? Thanks for joining. Appreciate
And
everybody
very big
joining.
news, as you probably just read. On Monday, a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge in Florida,
Cannon.
Eileen Cannon, finding that the prosecutor and the fake documents case against me
Go.
were totally unconstitutional,
Go.
and the entire case
Get it out of
was thrown out of court.
Get it out.
With all of that publicity, thrown out of court. If Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I have been going through for approximately 8 years.
Yeah.
And they should do that without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it anyway, but worthy of our people. On this journey, I
All
am
good,
deeply
Sully, all
honored
good.
to be
Thanks,
joined by my amazing wife, Melania.
Gorgeous woman. She's what you think of when you think of a First Lady of the United States. Not the E.T.
And
looking
Melania,
shit that we
thank you
currently
very
have.
much. You also did something really beautiful, a letter to America calling for national unity, and it really took the Republican Party by surprise. I will tell you, it was beautiful.
It's good. We might have to pull that up later and redo that.
In fact, some very serious people said that we should take that letter and put it as part of the Republican platform. That would be an honor, wouldn't it? Right, Mr. Congressman? But it captivated so many. So I also want to thank my entire family for being here. Don, Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared, Eric and Lara, Tiffany and Michael, Baron. We love our Baron.
Big boy. Big boy right there.
And of course, my 10 wonderful grandchildren. You saw a few of them up there on my lap before.
America's grandpa.
And how good was Dana? Was Dana good? I mean, was he good?
Dana had a good speech. If you guys want to watch that,
He was on probably the only vacation he's had in about maybe ever, because he works, but about 10 years with his wife, very far away. I won't tell you where, but very, very far away. Beautiful place. And my people called, and he said, I won't be able to do it. This is many, many years. I promised my wife I can't do it. And they came in, they said, Dana won't be able to do it because he was my first, second, and third choice. I said, well, that's too bad, but I understand he's away, and it's good. It's good for him. And that was it. About 30 minutes later, she came back in, sir, Dana just called. He's going to do it. And his wife, she said, you can't turn him down. You just can't do it. You have to go. That's a good wife.
Yep. Dang right. Good woman.
So he got on a plane. He got here a little while ago. Now he's going to get on the plane in a little while, and he's going to go back home to his wife. But they're great, and I just want to thank her and him and their whole family, because that's not easy. And Kid Rock, same thing. Called, he said, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part, because, Kid does his great song, Big, Big Monster song. I had no idea. He became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. And he's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. He has rallies, 35, 40,000 people he gets every time he goes out.
Popular man.
I think he's making so much money he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. You want to know? And then we have my other friend, and I've known him so long, and we took that song, and it was a big success, but we made that. I saw a chart of great songs to America. That was #1 on the chart recently, #1. So that's Lee Greenwood, a very special, beautiful person. He's a beautiful man. But they all wanted to be here. They called. And how about the Hulkster? How good was he?
Yeah.
Where
Man,
is
was
he?
running wild.
Boy, oh boy.
There you go. The Hulkster.
You know, they may call that entertainment. I know about entertainment, but when he used to lift a 350-pound man over his shoulders and then bench press him 2 rows into the audience, I say maybe entertainment, but he is one strong son of a gun. I will tell you, I watched it many times. There aren't a lot of entertainers that can do that, right? You were fantastic. Thank you very much. Followed by Eric. What was that all about? Boy, that was good. I didn't want to really come up here. But he was so great, and he's such a good young man. He went through a lot of
compliment.
trouble, and Don last night was incredible. He went through so much trouble. They got subpoenaed more than any people probably in the history of the United States. Every week they get another subpoena
Just about.
from the Democrats, crazy Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing, just boom, boom, boom. They've got to stop that because they're destroying our country.
Yeah.
We have to work on making America great again, not on beating people. And we won. We beat them and all. We beat them on the impeachments. We beat them on indictments. We beat them. But the time that you have to spend, if they would devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger and better country.
Yeah, how about it? If actually govern, actually govern for a second. Try to make things better for people.
And Jason, the biggest star in country music. Jason, thank you for being here. Jason
Aldean.
Thank you very much. Jason Aldean, he's good.
Okay.
I like his wife even better, by the way. She's here. Thank you, Jason. But I'm thrilled to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States, the current Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, and his incredible wife, Usha.
It's a good pick. He's a good pick. And I just want to point out, that man has a beard. He's a heartbeat away from the presidency. And if anything bad happened, we would have the first president with a beard since, like, Grant, maybe? I don't know.
Greatest movement in the history of our country. Make America great again.
I had to say
when
that,
they criticized it, they said, we're going to try and stop MAGA. I said, MAGA is making America great again. What are you going to stop? There's nothing to stop. Then they say, oh, that's right. It's very tough to fight it. And all of the people that did try and fight it have failed.
They can't stop this.
But he's going to be with us for a long time, and it was an honor to select him. Great, great student at Yale. His wife was a great student at Yale. They met at Yale. These are two smart people. So, J.D., you're going to be doing this for a long time. Enjoy the ride.
Good stuff.
And a very special thank you to the extraordinary people of Milwaukee and the great state of, oh, there they are. There they are. You are so easy to spot. And Green Bay's going to have a good team this year, right? They're going to have a good team. They're going to have a good team.
Nice.
Most of the audience doesn't like it, but it's true. You're going to have a very good team this year. And by the way, Wisconsin, we are spending over $250 million here, creating jobs and other economic development all over the place. So I hope you will remember this in November and give us your vote. I am trying to buy your vote. I'll be honest about that.
Hey, it is what it is.
And I promise we will make Wisconsin great again. We're going to make it. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm here tonight to lay out a vision for the whole nation.
Yep.
To every citizen, whether you're a young or old man or woman, Democrat, Republican, or independent, black or white, Asian or Hispanic, I extend to you a hand of loyalty and of friendship. Together, we will lead America to new heights of greatness like the world has never seen before. We were right there in the first term. We got hit with COVID. We did a great job. Nobody knew what it was, but nobody's ever seen an economy pre-COVID. And then we handed over a stock market that was substantially higher than just prior to COVID. Coming in, did a great job. Never got credit for that. We got credit for the war and defeating ISIS and so many things, the great economy, the biggest tax cuts ever, the biggest regulation cuts ever, the creation of Space Force, the rebuilding of our military. We did so much. We did so much. Right to try. Right to try is a big deal.
Yep.
We got right to try. They were trying to get that for 52 years. Somebody's terminally ill. And hopefully there's nobody in this audience, but it does happen a lot. Yeah. They're terminally ill and they can't use our new space age drugs and other things that we are way ahead. We have the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest laboratories in the world, and you can't do it. They've been trying to get that approved for 52 years. Wasn't that easy? The insurance companies didn't want to do it. They didn't want the risk. The labs didn't want to do it because if it didn't work, people are pretty far down the line toward death. They didn't want to do it. The doctors didn't want to have it on their records, so I got everybody into an office. 52 years they tried. Sounds simple, but it's not. And I got them to agree that somebody that needs it will, instead of going to Asia, Europe, or someplace, or if you have no money going home and dying, just die. We got them to sign an agreement, agree to it, where they're not going to sue anybody. They're going to get all of this stuff. They're going to get it really fast. And what's happened is we're saving thousands and thousands of lives. It's incredible. Right to try.
I mean,
it's
why not
great
try?
Feeling. Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. Mm-hmm. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. But to achieve this future, we must first rescue our nation from failed and even incompetent leadership. We have totally incompetent leadership. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. Under the current administration, we are indeed a nation in decline. We have an inflation crisis that is making life unaffordable, ravaging the incomes of working and low-income families, and crushing, just simply crushing our people like never before. They've never seen anything like it. We also have an illegal immigration crisis, and it's taking place right now as we sit here in this beautiful arena.
We got
it's a massive invasion at our southern border that has spread misery, crime, poverty, disease, and destruction to communities all across our land. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Then there's an international crisis, the likes of which the world has seldom been part of. Nobody can believe what's happening. War is now raging in Europe and the Middle East. A growing specter of conflict hangs over Taiwan, Korea, the Philippines, and all of Asia. And our planet is teetering on the edge of World War III. And this will be a war like no other war because of weaponry. The weapons are no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. These weapons are obliteration.
Yeah.
It's time for a change. This administration can't come close to solving the problems. We're dealing with very tough, very fierce people. They're fierce people. And we don't have fierce people. We have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. Then they're fierce. Then they're fierce.
Absolutely.
So tonight, I make this pledge to the great people of America. I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We will drill, baby, drill.
Get it. That black gold.
Can you believe what they're doing? But by doing that, we will lead a large-scale decline in prices. Prices will start to come down. Energy raised it. They took our energy policies and destroyed them. Then they immediately went back to them, but by that time, so much was lost. But we will do it at levels that nobody's ever seen before. And we'll end lots of different things. We'll start paying off debt and start lowering taxes even further. We gave you the largest tax cut. We'll do it more. You know, people don't realize I brought taxes way down, way down, and yet we took in more revenues the following year than we did when the tax rate was much higher. Most people said, how did you do that? Because it was incentive. Everybody was coming to the country. They were bringing back billions and billions of dollars into our country. The companies made it impossible to bring it back. The tax rate was too high, and the legal complications were far too great. I changed both of them, and hundreds of billions of dollars by Apple and so many other companies were brought back into our nation. And we had an economy the likes of which no nation had ever seen. China, we were beating them at levels that were incredible. And they know it. They know it. We'll do it again, but we'll do it even better. I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing the wall, most of which I've already built. On the wall, we were dealing with a very difficult Congress. And I said, oh, that's okay. We won't go to Congress. I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 billion. I said, I'm going to take a little of that money because this is an invasion. And we built, most of the wall is already built. And we built it through using the funds because what's better than that? We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year.
Yep.
We're not going to let that happen. I will end every single international crisis that the current administration has created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president, and the war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was president. Iran was broke. Iran had no money. Now Iran has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years. They were broke. I watched the other day on a show called Deface the Nation. Has anyone seen it? And they had a congressman who was a Democrat say, well, whether you like him or not, Iran was broke dealing with Trump. I told China and other countries, if you buy from Iran, we will not let you do any business in this country, and we will put tariffs on every product you do send in of 100% or more. And they said to me, well, I think that's about it. They weren't going to buy any oil. And they were ready to make a deal. Iran was going to make a deal with us. And then we had that horrible, horrible result that we'll never let happen again. The election result, we're never going to let that happen again. They used COVID to cheat.
Yep.
We're never going to let it happen again.
Absolutely, they did.
And they took off all the sanctions and they did everything possible for Iran. And now Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon, which would have never happened. This is a shame what this administration, the damage that this administration has done. And I say it often, If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, think of it, the 10 worst, added them up, they will not have done the damage that Biden has done. Only going to use the term once. Biden. I'm not going to use the name anymore, just one time. The damage that he's done to this country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. Together we will restore vision, strength, competence, and we're going to have a thing called common sense making most of our decisions, actually. It's all common sense. Just a few short years ago, under my presidency, we had the most secure border and best economy in the history of our country, in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had never done anything like it. We were beating every country, including China, by leaps and bounds. Nobody had seen anything like it. We had no inflation, soaring incomes were going. Nobody can believe it. You can't believe what happened 4 years ago is happening now in reverse. And the world was at peace. Inflation has been a killer for our country. No matter what you make it, it doesn't matter because inflation is eating you alive. People that were putting away money, they were making great wages, the highest they've ever made, but they were putting away a lot of money. Now they are just being destroyed. They're not putting away anything. They're barely living. They're going into savings accounts. They're taking out their money to live because of inflation. Inflation, remember, it's called a country buster. You can go back to Germany from 100 years ago. You can go back to any country that suffered great inflation. We've suffered the worst inflation we've ever had. But go back and see what's happened to those countries. We've had the worst inflation we've ever had under this person. But in less than 4 years, our opponents have turned incredible success into unparalleled tragedy and failure. It's been a tremendous failure. Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force and their jobs are taken. By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by illegal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country? The black population and the Hispanic population, because they're taking the jobs from our black population, our Hispanic population, and they're also taking them from unions. The unions are suffering because of it. Thank you. Thank you. I like you too. Thank you very much. Inflation has wiped out the life savings of our citizens and forced the middle class into a state of depression and despair. That's what it is. It's despair and depression. We cannot and will not let this continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. We're going to be a great nation again. Thank you. With proper leadership, every disaster we are now enduring will be fixed, and it will be fixed very, very quickly. So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore. With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited. Be excited.
Heck yeah. I'm excited at the thought of something better for sure. A lot of people hurting right now.
And by the way, the news reports, look at all of those big networks. Look at them. They're all here. But every one of them has said this could be the most organized, best run, and most enthusiastic convention of either party that they have ever seen. Every single
There you go. Bringing them together, getting them in line.
And it's true. It's true. And there's love in the room. There's great love in the room. So I better finish strong. Otherwise, we'll blow it. And we can't let that happen. No, this was great. All of the great people that spoke, and everybody hit a home run. I mean, there's not one that I can think of where I said, oh, gee, that wasn't great. Every single person. I refuse to be the only one. Don't do that to me. They're already getting ready. See, I gave them an idea. Now, this was a great convention. This was, I think we're actually going to go home and miss it. You know, usually with a first of all, look at these crowds. You'd never have this at a convention. Look at these crowds. Love. It's about love. This week, the entire Republican Party has formally adopted an agenda for America's renewal, and you saw that agenda, and it's very short compared to the long, boring, meaningless agendas of the past, including the Democrats. They write these things that are hundreds of pages long, and they never read them after they're done.
Yep.
In their case, fortunately, they don't read them because they're pretty bad. It's a series of bold promises that we will swiftly implement when you give us a Republican House. And Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. We have our great Speaker of the House with us tonight. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Thank you.
He's all right. Nah.
A Republican Senate. We have many senators here.
Better than McCarthy, I
And
suppose.
send me back to our beautiful White House just a few short months from now. We're talking about just months. It can't come fast enough. We have to get it done.
Yep.
First, we must get economic relief to our citizens. Starting on day one, we will drive down prices and make America affordable again. We have to make it affordable. It's not affordable. People can't live like this. Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60 and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway. You can't buy houses. Young people can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration. Republicans have a plan to bring down prices and bring them down very rapidly. By slashing energy costs, we will in turn reduce the cost of transportation, manufacturing, and all household goods. So much starts with energy. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far. We are a nation that has the opportunity to make an absolute fortune with its energy. We have it, and China doesn't.
Yep.
Under the Trump administration, just 3.5 years ago, we were energy independent, but soon we will actually be better than that. We will be energy dominant and supply not only ourselves, but we will supply the rest of the world.
Let's go.
With numbers that nobody has ever seen, and we will reduce our debt, $36 trillion. We will start reducing that, and we will also reduce your taxes still further. Next, and by the way, they want to raise your taxes 4 times. Think of it. And all my life, I grew up watching politicians. I always loved politics. I guess I was on the other side. I'd watched and they were always talking about, we will give you a tax cut. We will give you a tax cut. My whole life, I was watching, I will give you a tax cut, right, Mr. Congressman? That's all they talked about. This is the only administration that said, we're going to raise your taxes by 4 times what you're paying now, and people are supposed to vote for them? I've never heard it. You're paying too much. We're going to reduce your taxes still further. We gave you the biggest one, as I said. We're going to give you more.
And inflation is a tax on the poor.
And it's going to lead to tremendous growth. We want growth in our country.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that, y'all.
And next, we will end the ridiculous and actually incredible waste of taxpayer dollars that is fueling the inflation crisis. They've spent trillions of dollars on things having to do with the Green New Scam. It's a scam. And that's caused tremendous inflationary pressures in addition to the cost of energy. And all of the trillions of dollars that are sitting there not yet spent, we will redirect that money for important projects like roads, bridges, dams, and we will not allow it to be spent on meaningless green new scam ideas. And I will end the electric vehicle mandate on day one.
There you go.
Thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car.
You can do
And right
electric,
now,
but
as
you don't
we
need to
speak,
force it.
large factories just started, are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country. No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump, because we're going to bring back car manufacturing and we're going to bring it back fast.
There you go.
They're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world. Think of it, in the world. We're going to bring it back. We're going to make them. We don't mind that happening, but those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants. And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each car, and they will be unsellable in the United States.
A little bit of a strong arm, not very
We have long
libertarian,
been
but
taken advantage of by other countries. And think of it, oftentimes these other countries are considered so-called allies. They've taken advantage of us for years. We lose jobs, we lose revenue, and they gain everything and wipe out our businesses, wipe out our people. I stopped it for 4 years. I stopped it. And we're really ready to make changes like nobody had seen before. And remember, USMCA, I got rid of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with USMCA, which is, they say, the best trade deal ever made. Actually, probably the best trade deal was the deal I made with China, where they buy $50 billion worth of our product. They were buying nothing. They buy $50 billion worth. They had to. But I don't even talk about it because of COVID. I don't even mention it, frankly, because of what happened with the China virus.
That's what it was. Well, technically, if you want to get into it, the research started here and then they moved it over to Wuhan and it developed further in China. But I could go on a tangent about that. David Martin got some good info.
Plunder our nation. They come and
Dr. David Martin.
They plunder our nation. The way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. Very simple. Build it in America and only in America.
Get it.
And this very simple formula, and Congress has to go along with us, and they will. This very simple formula will create massive numbers of jobs. We will take over the auto industry again, and many, many hundreds of thousands of jobs. We lost so many jobs over the years. If you go back 20, 25 years, they've stolen, going to China and Mexico, about 68% of our auto industry manufacturing jobs. We're going to get them all back. We're going to get them all back, every one of them.
Really appreciate you guys.
At the center of our plan for economic relief are massive tax cuts for workers that include something else that's turned out to be very popular, actually.
Yeah.
Here it's very popular in this building and all those hotels that I saw that are so nice. I'm staying in a nice one. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips.
Good move.
No tax on tips.
Good move.
I got that by having dinner recently in Nevada, where we're leading by about 14 points. Hello. I'll see you there very soon, everybody.
He said hello.
And we're having dinner at a beautiful restaurant in the Trump building on the Strip. And it's a great building. And the waitress comes over. How's everything going? Really nice person. How's everything? Oh, sir, it's so tough. The government's after me all the time on tips, tips, tips. I said, well, they give you cash. Would they be able to find him? She said, actually, and I didn't know this. She said, very little cash is given. It's all put right on the check. And they come in and they take so much of our money. It's just ridiculous. And they don't believe anything we say. And they've just hired, as you know, 88,000 agents to go after him even more.
Yep.
And I said, this shows the level of my, most people go out, they hire consultants, they pay millions of dollars. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax and tips? She said, what a great idea. I got my information from a very smart waitress. That's better than spending millions of dollars.
This man,
and
he's a billionaire, but he's like a normal dude.
Everybody loves it. Waitresses and caddies and drivers and everybody's a large group of people that are being really hurt badly. They make money. Let them keep their money.
Yep.
I'm going to protect Social Security and Medicare. Democrats are going to destroy Social Security and Medicare because all of these people, by the millions they're coming in, they're going to be on Social Security and Medicare and other things, and you're not able to afford it. They are destroying your Social Security and your Medicare. Under my plan, incomes will skyrocket, inflation will vanish completely, jobs will come roaring back, and the middle class will prosper like never, ever before, and we're going to do it very rapidly.
I believe him. I don't think he's blowing smoke.
But no hope or dream we have for America can succeed unless we stop the illegal immigrant invasion, the worst that's ever been seen anywhere in the world. There's never been an invasion like this anywhere. Third world countries would fight with sticks and stones not to let this happen. The invasion at our southern border, we will stop it, and we will stop it quickly. You heard Tom Homan yesterday. Tom Homan, put him in charge and just sit back and watch.
Let Tom get after it. That man knows what the hell he's doing.
Brandon Judd.
Yep, Brandon Judd, another one.
The Border Patrol. He's incredible. These guys, they really, their job is a lot easier if they don't have to do anything, but they want to. They're patriots. Brandon Judd, Border Patrol, ICE. ICE goes out. You have to see what ICE does with MS-13. You have these are probably the worst gang, and ICE goes in there. And I know a lot of people in these rows here, and they're very tough people, but they don't want to do this job. They'll go into a pack of MS-13 killers. They're the worst, probably the worst gangs in the world. And we have thousands of them. I moved thousands and thousands out in my 4 years. We moved them out, and it was a pleasure. But ICE would go right into a pack of these killers, and you see fists flying, you see everything flying, and then they take them. They put them in a paddy wagon. They take them back and they get them out of our country. And the other countries weren't accepting them back. And I called up and I said, tell them that we're not giving them economic aid anymore. And the next day I got calls from all of these countries that were terminated. Billions of dollars we spend on economic aid to countries that does us, frankly, no good. And the next day I was called by everybody. I couldn't take all the calls. Sir, what's the problem? I said, you won't take your killers back that you sent in caravans into America. You won't take them back. Well, sir, if you'd like us to, we would give very serious consideration to doing that. And within 24 hours, they were being taken back. For years and years, when I first came in, they said President Obama tried to get him to go back, and they wouldn't accept him. They'd put planes on the runway so you couldn't leave the plane. They'd close the road so you couldn't take the buses. They'd all have to turn back. As soon as I said no more economic aid of any kind to any country that does that, they called back and they said, sir, it would be our great honor to take MS-13. We love them very much. We love them very much, sir. We'll take them back. At the heart of the Republican platform is our pledge to end this border nightmare and fully restore the sacred and sovereign borders of the United States of America. And we're going to do that on day one.
There you go.
That means two things on day one, right? Drill, baby, drill, and close our borders.
Yep.
And by the way, and I think everybody as a Republican, as a patriot in this room, and most Democrats, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come into our country legally.
Yep.
Legally.
Do it legally. Come legally. Honestly, until we get the dang system
Less than
fixed,
4
maybe
years
we need to
ago, I
pause on everything
handed this
for a couple
administration
years or
the
a year,
strongest
maybe.
border in
Maybe 6
American
months.
history.
Just put a pause.
But you can
Fix
see
it.
on the chart that saved
Then
my
come
life.
back.
That was the chart that saved my life. I said, look it, I'm so proud of it. I think it's one of the greatest. It was done by the Border Patrol. One of the greatest charts I've ever seen. It showed everything just like that. You know the chart. Oh, there it is. That's pretty good. Wow.
There you go.
Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today. Never got to look at it.
Thank God for that speech prop.
I said, you got to see this chart. I was so proud of it. And by the time I got to there, I never got to see it that day. But I'm seeing it now, and I was very proud. And if you look at the arrow on the bottom, that's the lowest level, the one on the bottom, heavy red arrow. That's the lowest level of illegal immigrants ever to come into our country in recorded history, right
God
there.
bless.
Right there.
God bless.
And that was my last week in office. And then you see what happened after I left. Look at the rest. And if you go out a little bit further, it's getting to be a little bit old, but I love it anyway, right? But you can go much higher with those numbers. Look what happened right after that. The invasion began. We had the opposite. We stopped the invasion, but the invasion that we stopped was peanuts.
Come on,
by comparison to what happened after I left. Look at what happened after I left. They took over our country. We ended all catch and release. We shut down asylum fraud. We stopped human trafficking and forged historic agreements to keep illegal aliens on foreign soil. We want them to stay on their soil. Under the Trump administration, if you came in illegally, you were apprehended immediately and you were deported. You went right back. The current administration terminated every single one of those great Trump policies that I put in place to seal the border. I wanted a seal border. Again, come in, but come in legally. You know how unfair it is? So many people, hundreds of thousands of people have been working for years to come into our country. And now they see these people pour into our country at levels that are unprecedented. It's so unfair. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to stand for it. They suspended wall construction, ended remain in Mexico. We had a policy, remain in Mexico. You think that was easy to get from the Mexican government? But I said, you must give it to us. If you don't give it to us, there will be repercussions. And they gave it to us, but not easy. Canceled our Safe Third agreements. Demolished Title 42, implemented nationwide catch and release. That's catch and release where we catch them and release them into our country. We catch them and release them into Mexico. There's a slight difference. And took 93, this is the previous administration, 93 executive actions to throw open our border to the world. The entire world is pouring into our country because of this very foolish administration. The greatest invasion in history is taking place right here in our country. They are coming in from every corner of the earth, not just from South America, but from Africa, Asia, the Middle East. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming at levels that we've never seen before. It is an invasion indeed, and this administration does absolutely nothing to stop them. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. The press is always on me because I say this. Has anyone seen Silence of the Lambs?
He's doing his thing.
The late great
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter. He'd love to have you for dinner.
He's trolling. They're like, oh, he thinks that Hannibal Lecter is a real person.
Asylums. They're emptying out their insane asylums. And terrorists are coming in at numbers that we've never seen before. Bad things are going to happen. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up, while crime statistics all over the world are going down because they're taking their criminals and they're putting them into our country.
Yep.
A certain country, and I happen to like the president of that country very much, but he's been getting great publicity because he's a wonderful shepherd of the country. He says how well the country's doing because their crime rate is down. And he said he's training all of these rough people. They're rough. He's training them. And I've been reading about this for 2 years. I think, oh, that's wonderful. Let's take a look at it. But then I realized he's not training them. He's sending all of his criminals, his drug dealers, his people that are in jails. He's sending them all to the United States. And he's different in that he doesn't say that. He's trying to convince everybody what a wonderful job he does in running the country. Well, he doesn't do a wonderful job. And by the way, if I ran one of the countries, many countries from all over, I would be worse than any of them. I would have had the place totally emptied out already. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. And they can't believe that they're getting away with what they're getting away with, but they're not going to be getting away with it for long. That's what I can tell you. In Venezuela, Caracas, high crime. Caracas, Venezuela. Really a dangerous place, but not anymore. Because in Venezuela, crime is down 72%. In fact,
no, not anymore.
If they would ever win this election, I hate to even say that, we will have our next Republican convention in Venezuela because it will be safe. Our cities will be so unsafe, we will not be able to have it there. In El Salvador, murders are down by 70%. Why are they down? Now, he would have you convinced that because he's trained murderers to be wonderful people. No. They're down because they're sending their murderers to the United States of America. This is going to be very bad. And bad things are going to happen, and you're seeing it happen all the time. That's why, to keep our families safe, the Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country. Even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
There you go. And Vulcan
from
Eisenhower.
Many years ago. You know, he was a moderate, but he believed very strongly in borders. He had the largest deportation operation we've ever had.
I believe Eisenhower
just recently, I
was the one that
spoke
came out
to
against
the grieving
intel
mother
agencies
of
as well.
Jocelyn
Talked about the
Nungary,
military
a
industrial
wonderful
complex.
woman.
Wasn't it Eisenhower? I believe it was.
A precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who last month was tied up, assaulted, and strangled to death after walking to the convenience store just a block away from her house.
Damn shame.
Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shallow creek, found by some onlookers who couldn't believe what they had witnessed.
Yeah.
Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal aliens from Venezuela who came across our border, were in custody, and were then released into the country by this horrible, horrible administration that we have right now.
Yeah.
I also met recently with the heartbroken mother and sister of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a 37-year-old mom of 5 beautiful children who was brutally raped and murdered while out on a run. She wanted to keep herself in good shape. It was very important because she was murdered. The monster responsible first killed another woman in El Salvador before he was led into America by the White House. This White House let them in.
Yep.
He then attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel in Maryland. Traveled all throughout the country, doing tremendous damage. Rachel's mother will never be the same. I spent time with her. She will never be the same. I've also met with the wonderful family of Laken Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student. She was so proud of being first in her class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Yet another American life was stolen by a criminal alien set free by this administration. And these were incredible people we're talking about. These were incredible people who died. Tonight, America, this is my vow. I will not let these killers and criminals into our country.
Bit of a
I
pattern
will
there,
keep
huh?
our sons and daughters safe. As we bring security to our streets, we will help bring stability to the world. I was the first president in modern times to start no new wars. You know, we were the toughest, we were the most respected.
Bit of an issue with Syria, but
And you
technically,
saw
yes.
this. Hungry, strong country run by very powerful, tough leaders, tough guy. Press doesn't like him because he's tough. And he came out recently. They were asking him at an interview, the whole world is exploding. What's happening? What's going on? Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man. He said, I don't want people coming into my country and blowing up our shopping centers and killing people.
Bit of a pattern there. So
But they said to him, tell us what's going wrong, what's happening, what is it? He said, there's only one way you're going to solve it. You got to bring President Trump back to the United States because he kept everybody at bay.
True. It's true.
He used a
It's
word
true. It's the
I
truest thing
wouldn't
ever.
use because I can't use that word. Because you'd say it was braggadocious. The press would say he was a braggart. I'm not a braggart. But Viktor Orban said,
Yeah, you are.
he said Russia was afraid of him. China was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nothing was going to happen. The whole world was at peace. And now the world is blowing up around us.
Yep.
All of these things that you read about were not going to happen. Under President Bush, Russia invaded Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Under President Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under the current administration, Russia is after all of Ukraine. Under President Trump, Russia took nothing.
They took nothing. They wanted something, but they couldn't get it. Nothing at all. I said no, Putin. No. You can't do it, Putin.
We defeated 100% of ISIS in Syria and Iraq. Something that was said to take 5 years, sir. It'll take 5 years, sir.
I think a lot
We
of
did it
people
in a
felt
matter
that
of
way.
a couple of
Miss
months.
Minnie Momo.
We have a great military. Our military is not woke. It's just some of the fools on top that are woke.
Things changed, though. We saw something. I kind of liked Ted Cruz in 2016.
I got along very well. North Korea, Kim
There we
Jong-un, I
go.
got
I knew that
along
was
very
coming.
well with him. The press hated when I said that. How
Knew
could
that
you
was
get
coming.
along with him? Well, you know, it's nice to get along with somebody who has a lot of
2024.
nuclear weapons
Cannot
or
wait to
otherwise.
cast
Isn't
my
it?
vote for this man.
See, in the old days, they'd say, that's a wonderful thing. Now they say, how could you
I
possibly
got
do
you.
that?
I got you, Miss Minnie.
But no, I got along with him, and we stopped the missile launches from North
2024.
Korea. Now North Korea is acting up
MAGA.
again, but when we get back, I get along with him. He'd like to see me back, too. I think he misses me, if you want to know the truth. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. Look at that attack on Israel. Look at what's happening with Ukraine. The cities are just bombed out. How can people live like that where buildings, massive buildings are falling to the ground? It began to unravel with the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the worst humiliation in the history of our country. We have never had a humiliation like that.
Really, really soft.
13
And
heroic
he
U.S.
talks
service
very
members were
quietly,
tragically and
you know.
needlessly killed. 45 others were horrifically wounded. Nobody ever talks about them.
Ben Carson.
No arms,
Good
no
guy.
legs,
Smart man.
face explosions, horrifically wounded. And by the way, we have a man in this room who's running for the U.S. Senate from a great state, Nevada, named Sam Brown, who paid the ultimate price. Thank you, Sam.
Well,
Thank you,
I mean,
Sam.
if it was the ultimate price, he wouldn't be here. But
Thank you.
I guess.
He paid the biggest price probably ever paid by anybody that is running for office, and I think he's going to do great. He's running against a person that is not good, not respected, a total lightweight. But Sam, I think, paid really, we were talking about it with some of the senators that are working so hard for Sam. But he paid the biggest price of any senator ever to run for the Senate. I don't think anybody's ever what he did. He was a real hero, a really great person, and he's running, and I hope that everybody gets out and votes for Sam Brown. And we also left behind $85 billion worth of military equipment, along with many American citizens were left behind.
Yep.
Many American citizens, emboldened by that disaster. Russia invaded Ukraine. They saw this group of people that were incompetent. We took the soldiers out first. No, we're going to take the soldiers out second. If they would have followed my plan, we had a great plan. But the plan only kicked in if they did everything perfectly, and they weren't doing things perfectly, so we said it doesn't kick in. 18 months in Afghanistan, we didn't have one, so they were killing them left and right, snipers.
Yep.
And I spoke to the head of the Taliban. You've heard this story. Abdul, still there, still the head of the Taliban. The press got on me. Why would you speak to him? I said, because that's where the killing is. Mm-hmm. I don't have to speak to somebody that has nothing to do with it. And I told him, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. You got to stop. Because during the Obama administration, many great people and soldiers, a lot of soldiers were being killed from long distance. I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to be hit harder than anybody's ever been hit by a country before.
Mm-hmm. Get it.
And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls the other guy Your Excellency. I doubt it. The other guy gave him everything. I mean, what kind of a deal was that? He walked out, gave him everything. You know that right now Afghanistan is one of the largest sellers of weapons in the world? They're selling the brand new, beautiful weapons that we gave them. But think of it. He actually said to me, but why do you show me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to ask your people or one of your wives. But he could figure it out. And for 18 months,
put a picture of the man's home.
One attack on an American soldier by the Taliban.
You kill one more soldier and I will end you. That's what Trump did. Trump ain't playing. So why'd you show me a picture of my house?
And then we had that horrible day where soldiers were killed. I was not there because of a ridiculous election. But we had that horrible attack. And they also gave up Bagram, one of the biggest bases anywhere in the world, air bases anywhere in the world, the longest runways, most powerful, hardened, thickened runways. We gave it up. And I liked it not because of Afghanistan. I liked it because of China. It's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. And you know who has it now? China has it now.
Yep.
We were keeping that.
It's almost like Biden's in China's pocket, right?
And now China is likewise circling Taiwan, and Russian warships and nuclear submarines are operating 60 miles off the coast in Cuba. Do you know that? No, the press refuses to write about it. If that were me running this country and we had nuclear submarines in Cuba, I will tell you that headlines every day would be, what's wrong with our president? You don't even hear this. You're not hearing about this. Russia has nuclear submarines and warships 60 miles away, Mr. Congressman.
Literally.
From Miami, by the way, happens to be here. Correct? In Cuba. And that would not be stood for if it were somebody else. They don't want to mention it, but now maybe they will. And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
Talking about the Abdul. Yep, silly.
With our victory in November, the years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I had no wars other than ISIS, which I defeated, but that was a war that was started. We had no wars. I could stop wars with a telephone call.
Yep.
I could stop wars with just a telephone call.
Put it on the table.
If properly stated, it would never start. We will replenish our military and build an Iron Dome missile defense system to ensure that no enemy can strike our homeland.
There you go.
And this great Iron Dome will be built entirely in the USA. We're going to build
Yes,
it
ma'am, Miss Minnie.
in the USA. And Wisconsin, just like I gave you that massive Schiff contract, and you're doing a very nice job, Governor, right? Thank you, Governor. And they're doing a great job. In fact, I had a little design change, and we gave them a tremendous for essentially what we used to call destroyers. These are now the most beautiful. They look like yachts. I said, we have to take the bow and we have to make it a little nicer and a little point at the top instead of a flat nose. And the people at the shipyard said, this guy sort of knows what he's doing. We have most beautiful ships, right, Governor? And everybody's sitting over there.
Ooh, great.
And it was
fleet.
a big contract that everybody
Great
wanted. I
fleet
gave it to
vibes, y'all.
Wisconsin, but we're going to have a lot of that built right here in the state of Wisconsin and all other states. Israel has an Iron Dome. They have a missile defense system. 342 missiles were shot into Israel, and only one got through a little bit. It was badly wounded. It fell to the ground, but most of them are. And Ronald Reagan wanted this many years ago, but we really didn't have the technology many years ago. Remember, they called it Starship, spaceship.
Star Wars.
Anything to mock him.
That, or
But he was a
Laser Wars.
very good president. Very, very good.
Yeah. Second term, he was kind of.
But now we
Losing it,
have
but-
unbelievable technology. And why should other countries have this and we don't? No, we're going to build an Iron Dome over our country, and we're going to be sure that nothing can come and harm our people. And again, from an economic development standpoint, we're going to make it all right here. No more sending it out to other countries
There
in
you go.
order to help. It's America first.
America first, baby. America first.
We
Hell
will
yes.
unleash the power
Hell
of
yes.
American innovation. And as we do, we will soon be on the verge of finding the cures to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and many other diseases.
There you go.
We're going to get to the bottom of it.
Wait, I thought Biden said
You
he cured
remember
cancer.
this gentleman that I don't want to
Didn't Biden
mention
say he
other
cured
than one
cancer?
time I had to, because when you say the 10 worst, I had to do it. I didn't want anybody to be confused. But this man said, we're going to find a cure to cancer. Nothing happened. We're going to get to the cure for cancer and Alzheimer's and so many other things. We're so close to doing something great.
Can help the current president.
But
Man,
we
you gotta
need-
transition that.
A leader that will let it be done. We will not have men playing in women's sports. That will end immediately.
Hell yes. Roll back the changes they made to Title IX. The bastardization of what they did.
And we will restore
Thank
and
you guys so
renovate
much
our
for watching.
nation's
See, we've got
once
20
great
people watching
cities,
here.
making them safe,
To the
clean,
people
and
on
beautiful
X, I
again.
appreciate you as well.
And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. So many things. They leave from Wisconsin. They go to look at the Washington Monument. They end up getting stabbed, killed, or shot. We will be very soon
Hey.
very proud of our capital. Again, Washington, D.C.
Be nice. It'd be nice.
America is on the cusp of a new golden age, but we will have the courage to seize it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it a current. We're going to
Just
bring
forgot.
this into
Just
a
forgot.
golden age like never seen before. Remember this, China wants to do it. Japan wants to do it. All of these countries want to do it. We have to produce massive amounts of energy.
Japan actually.
If we're
I think,
going
holds
to
more of our
produce
debts than
the
China.
new,
At least last
if
I
you
read
look
into
at some of the things that have been done and some of the things that we're going to do, but AI
I could be wrong.
needs literally twice the electricity that's available now in our country. Can you imagine? But instead, we're spending places where they recharge electric cars. They built 8 chargers at a certain location toward the Midwest. 8 chargers for $9 billion. Think of them as a
Whoa.
tank for filling up your gas. Think of it. They spent $9 billion
My God.
on 8 chargers, 3 of which didn't work.
Oh no.
And if you were going to do this all over our country, this crazy electric mandate, if you're going to do this all, and by the way, I'm all for electric. They have their application. But if somebody wants to buy a gas-powered car, gasoline-powered car, or a hybrid, they're going to be able to do it. And we're going to make that change on day one.
It's about choice. It's about choice. It shouldn't be forced. Like in California, where they're trying to outlaw small gas engines. I think they might have done that already.
So to conclude, just a few short days ago, my journey with you nearly ended. We know that. And yet, here we are tonight, all gathered together, talking about the future, promise, and a total renewal of a thing we love very much. It's called America.
Yep.
We live in a
We're gonna get
world
into
of
the topics after
miracles.
he's done
None of
talking,
us
by the way.
knows God's plan or where life's adventure will take us. I want to thank Franklin Graham for being here tonight. He's an outstanding man. He wrote me a note recently. I have a lot of respect for him. Sir, I love your storytelling. I think it's great in front of these big rallies. But, sir, please do me one favor. It won't make any difference. Please don't use any foul language. I was a little embarrassed. I said, he said, it won't make any difference. Actually, it does. The story's not quite as good, but I've been very good. The story is not quite as good, to be honest. I've got to have a little talk with Franklin, but he was great. He's a great gentleman. His father was so incredible, Billy Graham. My father used to love taking me to see Billy Graham. My father would take me to see Billy Graham at Yankee Stadium. He had the biggest rallies you've ever seen. He was a good rally guy, too. But he'd get up, and he was a fantastic guy. My father loved Billy Graham. But I love Franklin Graham. I think Franklin's been fantastic, and I'm working so hard to adhere to his note to me. I'm working hard on it, Franklin.
Good job, Trump.
But if the events of last Saturday make anything clear, it is that every single moment we have on earth is a gift from God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We have to make the most of every day for the people and for the country that we love. The attacker in Pennsylvania wanted to stop our movement, but the truth is the movement has never been about me. It has always been about you. It's your movement. It's the biggest movement in the history of our country by far.
They can't stop it.
It can't be stopped.
Yep.
It has always been about the hardworking, patriotic citizens of America. For too long, our nation has settled for too little. We settled for too little. We've given everything to other nations, to other people. You've been told to lower your expectations and to accept less for your families. I am here tonight with the opposite message. Your expectations are not big enough. They're not big enough.
Get it.
It is time to start expecting and demanding the best leadership in the world, leadership that is bold, dynamic, relentless, and fearless. We can do that.
Yep.
We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright. But as long as our energies are spent fighting each other, our destiny will remain out of reach. And that's not acceptable. We must instead take that energy and use it to realize our country's true potential and write our own thrilling chapter of the American story. We can do it together. We will unite. We are going to come together, and success will bring us together.
Good message. Good message. On point.
It is a story of love, sacrifice, and so many other things. And remember the word devotion. It's unmatched devotion. Our American ancestors crossed the Delaware, survived the icy winter at Valley Forge, and defeated a mighty empire to establish our cherished republic. They fought so hard, they lost so many. They pushed thousands and thousands of miles across a dangerous frontier, taming the wilderness to build a life and a magnificent home for their family. They packed their families into covered wagons, trekked across hazardous trails, scaled towering mountains, and braved rivers and rapids to stake their claim on the wide open, new, and very beautiful frontier. When our way of life was threatened, American patriots marched onto the battlefield, raced into enemy strongholds, and stared down death and stared down those enemies to keep alive the flame of freedom. At Yorktown, Gettysburg, and Midway, they joined the roll call of immortal heroes. So many heroes, so many great, great people. And we have to cherish those people. We can't forget those people. We have to cherish those people.
Absolutely.
And building monuments to those great people is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yep.
They saved our country.
Dang right. Stop trying to erase history.
No challenge was too much. No hardship was too great. No enemy was too fierce. Together, these patriots soldiered on and endured, and they prevailed because they had faith in each other, faith in their country, and above all, they had faith in their God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like our ancestors, we must now come together, rise above past differences. Any disagreements have to be put aside and go forward, united as one people, one nation, pledging allegiance to one great, beautiful, I think it's so beautiful, American flag. Tonight, I ask for your partnership, for your support, and I am humbly asking for your vote. I want your vote. It's going to make our country great again. Every day I will strive to honor the trust you have placed in me.
Get out
and I will never, ever let you down. I promise that. I will never let you down. To all of the forgotten men and women who have been neglected, abandoned, and left behind, you will be forgotten no longer. We will press forward, and together we will win, win, win.
There you go.
Win, 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 win.
Get it.
Nothing will sway us. Nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us.
Can't stop it.
No matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles lie in our path, we will keep striving toward our shared and glorious destiny, and we will not fail. We will not fail. Together, we will save this country. We will restore the republic, and we will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
There you go. Right there. He's bringing the country together. That's what they don't want.
And quite simply put, we will very quickly make America great again. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you very much, Wisconsin. God bless you.
Got it.
God bless you, Wisconsin, and God bless the United States of America, our great country. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Good job. That was a good one. That was a good one. Excellent. Excellent. That was a good one, y'all. That was a good one. That was perfect timing. As soon as I was starting, he was coming on the stage. I'm like, you know what? I had a plan. I had an outline for the show, but I think that was worth watching. That was a damn good speech. Well done, Mr. President. You did well. Did very well. I don't know about you guys, but I got fired up by that. Oh well, look at that! A little pink bunny showed up at some point on the bed. I think Lady Dozer might have been responsible for that. That was good. Trump going through it, talking about what happened, talking about what he was thinking, what he was feeling in the crowd. That was well done, very well done. I saw a little clip of him at the premiere, I think, of one of his movies or something, or, Trump Save America or something like that, and he spoke for a little bit there. But that was powerful. That was good. Before we actually get into the topics, Rumble Ad Center has some new partners and they have ad campaigns. And if you guys don't mind, I'll read a quick ad just for a moment here. All right. So, Rumble has a new partner, Positive. Do you rely on big woke corporations and the corrupt medical establishment to keep you healthy? I hope not. Then why would you trust the same globally owned corporations to keep your pet healthy? It's time we stop relying on them for anything. They hate us, want to keep us sick, and just want our money. We at Rumble started Positive Health, because pets are an extension of our family and it matters that they get clean, nutrient-filled, vitamin-rich superfoods to stay healthy and happy. You want your pets to be healthy and happy, right? Worth checking out, just saying. That's why we created a range of superfood supplement waffles that your pet will love, packed with natural, healthy ingredients that promote better digestive support, bone health, vision, and immune strength. They're also rich in anti-inflammatories, vitamins, and minerals essential for your furry family members. So head over to positive.com right now to check out our superfoods and other products. Use code STUDIO to save 15% on your first subscription order. Worth checking out, guys. You like your pets? You want them to stay healthy? Maybe they've got some good stuff. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about these products. Positive.com. Link, I think the link should pop up, so I'm not sure. I think it will. But yeah, there's a little ad read for you. Try not to do that too often. Oh, look at that. You can do more than one in a show now. Interesting. I don't plan on peppering you guys with ads or anything like that. Let's see. We got a comment here from Miss Minnie Mel. What do we got here? Whether it's Joe, Kamala, Gavin, or Big Mike, whatever nominee speech gets made at the DNC will never compare to that. Miss Minnie, I absolutely agree with you. That was a hell of a speech. The man he could have done his normal thing where he does his rally speech. Because if you've watched a few rallies from Trump, he has a bit of a pattern. He has an outline that he does. And he sticks to it pretty, if you watch a few, you pretty much know what he's going to do. That was good. I like that he actually took the time to change things up. Yeah, that's only every 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I think it's 20 that you can do ad reads. That's one of the things that's great about Rumble, guys. That's one of the things that is great about Rumble. It provides an opportunity for small creators like myself to, make a little change. It makes a difference. So I'll say that it's worth it, and hopefully it doesn't bother y'all too much when I do an ad read. But and hopefully I make it a little bit entertaining while I do it. So my original outline for tonight, before I didn't expect him to be literally starting as soon as I was starting my stream. And to everybody who watched while we were doing that, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know that there are so many other huge creators that were streaming that, and it means the world to me that up to, I think, 20 or 30 people at a time were hanging out, watching it with me. Appreciate you guys. To the people that are still hanging around, thank you. If you haven't liked the stream yet, like it. Smash that like button. Tap it. Caress it. Nibble its ear. Wait, that's Biden? I need to stop. Sorry. I was thinking of our current, the former vice president. Respect the office, as Crowder says. So first I was going to talk about the shooting, and then I was going to talk about the RNC and kind of go into the what's been going on there at the RNC. It's been a solid convention. The little bit that I've been watching, the energy has been out of this world compared to past conventions. Great speakers. The people are fired up. All the creators that are there streaming right now. I don't know about y'all, but I've been watching, like The Quartering, Luke Rutkowski with We Are Change, Russell Brand. They're hanging out there. Viva Fry, Viva and Barnes. They've been having some really good coverage. So it's been really cool to see. It's been cool to see everybody getting out there, and just the energy after what happened last Saturday is insane. And as Trump was saying, we're going to unite, and I'm going to be positive about what happened. About it's horrible what happened last Saturday, but I'm going to look at things going forward from a positive perspective. I feel after what happened, and if you guys saw my stream, I do apologize for the terrible audio. It was the first time that I had used Rumble Studio Mobile, and I was doing it for my car because I was actually in the middle of door dashing, in between dashes. And I pulled over into a church parking lot and just set my phone up in my little hands-free mount and started talking. And I forgot to switch it over to my Raycon earbud. So you got my car speaker audio, and oh my God, it was atrocious. I apologize to your ears if you watched that stream. So this setup's a little bit better, hopefully a little bit smoother. So we've got, like I said, we've got some topics that we are going to talk about. That was a great speech. I don't agree 100% with everything. It says no new wars, and he's technically right. That you got Syria, that was a bit of a blemish, but he also literally, I think he didn't want to do what they did in Syria. And the reason that I say that was, on my emergency stream last on Saturday. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit of a perfectionist, but I that little 43-minute video I did, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I was incensed. I had to get on. I had to get on and stream. Had to talk about it. I literally was on the way to Dollar General to pick up an order, and I got the notification from Truth Social. That was the first place that I saw that Trump had been shot. Was actually Truth Social. A Truth Social notification popped up, and I watched the video. Not while I was driving, of course, right? And it just sent chills. We're gonna watch the video here in a little bit, because that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about after we get done talking about the RNC stuff, because that's what we were just on. But watching the video, that last scream, and some people think that was a scream of pain. I was watching Joe last night. That right there, right, Miss Minnie Mel. That right there, when Trump stood up, and he pumped his fist in the air, fight, fight, fight. That was a statement to the world. That was a statement to the world. You will not break me. You will not break this country. He pointed it out that the people there were ready to fight. He had to show strength. How many other times in history has something like that happened and the person gets, crouched down and understandably so, you've just been shot, get rushed away and, look weak, because that's one of the weakest moments that you could have is to be shot in front of a giant crowd. And he got up in defiance of it and said, fight, fight, fight. The moment he stood up and did that, it's over. It's over. The election is over. And there for a minute, they stopped talking about Biden. They stopped talking about replacing Biden for a minute. That's our last topic, by the way. Our last lighthearted topic is, and I say lighthearted / funny because it's hilariously farcical. Hilariously farcical that just so happens that Biden, in an interview with Lester Holt, which we have a clip of that, by the way, and it's just baffling. BET is not even cutting stuff; they're just letting it play. It's baffling. He said that he would consider dropping out if a doctor told him that he has a severe enough medical condition that it would force him to drop out. And then, oh my God, less than 24 hours later, COVID. Yeah. Thanks, Miss Minnie Mel. Appreciate you hanging out with me whenever we were going through that. I was fired up. I was very fired up. If I will say this, she said, I watched your stream about 30 seconds after learning about the assassination attempt. So Solia texted you, the SC medic, and immediately got the notification. I was feeling the same. Yeah, it was. I had to get on. I was looking on Rumble and trying to see if there was anybody else on, and I didn't see very many people on live. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going live right now. Let's do it. And then cut it off. I was starting another dash, so I had to cut it off and then go dash. But The rest of the day, made a couple more bucks. It was okay. Wasn't a great day of dashing, to be honest. I made a little bit, but I'm not going to lie to you. If Trump would have been, if he wouldn't have turned his head at the last moment, I was going to Dollar General to pick up an order. I would have canceled the order. I would have got some poster boards and a Sharpie, and that's the first thing that I probably would have done. Just started walking the sidewalk in the town I'm in, or was in, something, and just protest, just make my voice heard, just something. That's my only thing that I could think of to do. I'm not going to go burn things down. I have a family. I know that that's a dumb idea, but I guarantee you, if this guy would have, you know what? No, they, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Whenever we get into it. I do have a story about the DOJ with Southwest Key. I don't know if we're going to get to that story today, so I included that in the description. If we don't get to it, I'll give you a brief little appetizer of that story really quick. It's a little blurb here, and it's a fairly quick story. It's just the Southwest Key, a housing organization or a housing authority that houses unaccompanied minors, apparently has been involved in the habitual abuse, one of the worst types of abuse that you can impart on children. And they've been doing it for years. And the DOJ has known about it for years. But now they're doing making a big noise about it. Why? Why are you making a big noise about it now when you've known about this? Why hasn't the DOJ done something before? A organization that has been housing unaccompanied minors. Very vulnerable population. And they've been hurting children. They've been hurting children for years. And the DOJ just now is making noise about it. So that's, if we don't get into it, that's pretty much the gist. Southwest Key, there was an AP article that I saw, very short article, so we might have time to read through it. Told my wife that I would try to wrap it up a little bit after 2 hours, probably not going to be going 3 hours tonight. Unless you guys start popping off in chat, then maybe. But yeah, the RNC. Let's go ahead and circle back, Jin Saki style, without the horrible complexion. That's right, calling out the ginger. But no offense, against gingers, even though you don't have souls. Sorry, it's just a joke. Has 29 facilities. Yeah, Southwest Key, 29 facilities. Yep. We're probably gonna talk about that for a second. I feel like that's an important topic. Our government literally have been facilitating child abuse and child trafficking. You can't call it anything other than what it is. At a certain, I know you are not supposed to attribute malice to which can be attributed incompetence. We're past that. We're far past that. I've got to assume malice with these things because it happens over and over and over. And I have another shirt that says "Noticer." Sorry that I notice things. Just saying. But the RNC has been impressive this year. One of the things that I don't like about the RNC this year is people's responses to the speakers. The Amber Rose. I don't know what her hustle is. I don't know if she has an OnlyFans. She's a beautiful woman. I'll give her that. But she's somebody that was on the left. She's somebody that was on the left that is at the Republican National Convention. And her story was a great story. It talks about the things that she was told beforehand. It talks about the lies that she was told and the assumptions that she made until she actually looked into it. Her father actually is like, hey, no, you're wrong. He's not a racist. Trump's not a horrible person. Look into it. And she did. And she found out once she looked into it that she was wrong. And there's a bunch of Christians out there that are, mad about her and mad about Harmeet Dillon. Harmeet Dillon's Sikh prayer. I guess she's Hindu or Hindi. I'm not sure. Yeah, she's Hinduism is what she practices. So yeah, she's a Hindu, and she did her Sikh prayer. I'm fine with that. Every other faith that is, we are not a religious state like a church state. We are not a church state. Yes, I absolutely know that Christianity is the best. Absolutely. That's my faith. But her faith It took guts. Yes, she's a Sikh. It took guts to sing the prayer out like she did. And the only thing that I did have a problem with is when she said one true God, unless I haven't done enough research into it to determine, unless we're talking about the same God, then yeah, absolutely. We celebrate the one true God. I know Vivek has talked about that a little bit. And there are people like Melanie Mack. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Her response was smooth brained as hell. We are a big tent party. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent, but I'm going to side with the party that doesn't want to murder babies. That's one of my biggest sticklers. And the party that's not trying to trans kids. California, a lot of other states, taking away the parent, making the state daddy and mommy. That's what they want. That's what the Marxists want. That's their push. They absolutely want to replace the family unit, just like BLM's freaking, she's a hell of a human being. And you have people like Mac that just, I unfollowed her. I'm like, you know what? You're not on the right side of things here. Very smooth brain approach from Miss Mac. I think she's a lovely person from what I've seen so far, but not very logical in her analysis of that. She kept saying that you were praying to a demon. And just because you might have bowed your head in reverence doesn't mean you're necessarily praying. I wasn't going to bow my head because that's not my prayer, but I thought it was a beautiful thing that Harmeet did. I thought it was nice. That's just me. You want to call me less of a Christian for that? Well, go screw yourself. It's the most Christian response that I have. She a prolific civil rights lawyer. And you're gonna shun that? What, did you have a problem with the Sikh prayer before? This is why people hate the Republican Party, because if it's any party that knows how to lose, it's the Republican Party. But I think things are changing, because that's not everybody now. That's a subset. I think that the party has transformed. I like to call it the Lion Party. That's what I see. I see the Lion Party rising up from the ashes that was the Republican Party, because that's what it was. It was just pitiful, pathetic, dusty, white ashes that were blowing away in the wind. And the MAGA movement, the America First movement, is like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And what we are seeing is a shift in mentality in this party that would eventually get me to say proudly, I'm a Republican. We're not there yet, because I'm always I'm an independent-minded individual. It's in my profile on X, Dozer74. By the way, if you haven't followed me there, you should check me out. I post spicy memes and sometimes get into heated debates with either bots or crazed lefties. One of my favorite things to do. And some people might think this is misogynistic, but it's just me trolling. Anytime I'm debating a lefty woman and she makes a illogical, silly point, I'll make sure to add in there, hun, little lady. And they love that so much. They love that so much. I'm not your hun. I'm like, okay, little lady. They hate that. It's just me trolling them, because I know it's going to get them a rise. Yeah. Not just the GOP. It's why people hate Christians, because you don't have to, just because you have somebody in your presence that is different from you, faith-wise, lifestyle-wise, doesn't mean that you endorse it or that you adopt it. Okay? I don't know if Amber Rose still has an OnlyFans or whatever. Honestly, I don't really care. Do what you want. I don't care. I'm not going to tell my kids to, see that as a role model or a hustle that they should aspire to. Hell fucking no. But she's a woman. Do what you want. Be safe. I don't care. I'm the leave it be. Christians that are so judgy, I can't do that. I don't get me wrong. I'm a flawed individual and I do judge at times. Can't help it. I'm a human being. But if you want to get biblical for a second, before Paul was Paul, he went by Saul, right? Saul was responsible for the deaths. And I don't know if he directly beheaded Christians, but Saul hunted Christians down simply for being Christians and killed them, or was responsible for their ultimate demise, until he was struck blind, and then studied and stayed in solitude, and then came back and changed to Paul and wrote most of the New Testament. He was responsible for the deaths of many Christians, and then he met God and came back around and was a champion for Christ. A champion. Wrote most, I think, 13 or 14 books of the New Testament, like over half, something like that. So you're going to sit there and tell me that you can idolize that, but you can't stand somebody who either currently or used to be a bit of a whore. Mary Magdalene, right? Mary Magdalene. Are we gonna take her out of the Bible because of her past? She had like many husbands. Apparently was a little bit loose. The disciples, many of the disciples were murderers. Did horrible things in their past until they met Christ. And if somebody can be exposed to it by being around Christians, by being around a better moral framework, if you can get those people, that's the point of Christianity, is to spread the word and grow the flock. That doesn't mean that you shun your values or you shun your faith. It's not what it means. It means that you help coax them in, you bring them in, you be welcoming, and you help provide something different to them. Yeah. Good God, you ain't lying. God, think of the conversations you could get out of Harmeet Dillon. My goodness, that would be stimulating. In the best, no, I'm talking about nice, innocent stimulating. Get your mind's out of the gutters. Yeah. Melanie seems like she might be, she seems like a nice person. I'm not going to crap on her all the way. I think she had a knee-jerk response. And I got a little back and forth with her on X about it. Just because you are around the sinner or around sin does not mean that you endorse that sin. It doesn't. You can be around people that are sinful. We are all sinful. That's part of being humans. And that's part of being a freaking Christian, acknowledging that you're a sinner and trying your best to live as an example of Christ. And if you look at what Christ did and the people that he was around, absolutely. A lot of Christians have forgotten that. We can't be like the left. We can't be like the atheists. We can't be, we can't be that, oh, you're not as good as us. You're not as good as us. No, used to do OnlyFans. I mean, if you are making an effort to change, if you're making an effort to try to be exposed to something different, we should absolutely encourage the hell out of that. And I just don't understand people that knee-jerk respond. I get a knee-jerk response, but when you've had time to think about it, like whenever Harmeet Dillon said the one true God thing, and I haven't researched enough into it, when she said the one true God thing, that made me kind of like, I hope if we're talking about the same God, sure. But if you're talking about another God, then you can believe that, but I sure as hell don't. I don't know the Wahi Guru. I haven't done, intellectually stimulating. That's right, Sully. When I saw the headscarf, I was a little bit concerned for a second. When I saw the headscarf, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? Is this? I didn't think she was Muslim. And I was just like, I mean, even if she was, I mean, I guess, but it's a shine of reverence to cover the head. And even in some of the hardcore Christian communities, you see like the, was it the Mennonites and the Amish, I believe the women have their heads covered, the little white cap. I think that might be Mennonite. I thought it was beautiful. And if that made you mad, and even Gerald from Crowder, he got all fired up, and I'm like, dude, you need to take a breath, calm the hell down, realize that we have freedom of religion, so that's all religions can be present in this country. It's one of the biggest issues. We don't want a church state. It's one of the reasons we got, we didn't want, taxes, of course, but we also didn't want, a religious dictatorship, essentially. You can have all kinds of religions, all kinds of faiths in this country. And that was a very good gesture that she had. So I thought that was fine. Seeing seeing Kai switching up. We're still talking RNC, but we're switching up a little bit, getting away from the people pearl clutching. That's what I'll call it. You're pearl clutching. Get over it. Bring big tent party. Big tent party, guys. That's what we need to be, because if we aren't a big tent, we're going to lose. And we can't lose. I think I saw a comment earlier from Jacob about if Trump doesn't win in November, he's got fears for this country, fears for the danger that could be present in this country if Trump doesn't win. I'll say this: if Trump doesn't win in November, I will probably swear off federal politics. No joke. I will focus on local, state, and world, but I won't focus on federal stuff. If that happens again, then our system is just lost. If mashed potato brain Biden wins again, then I can't think that our system is worth even. I mean, I am one of those people that right now believes, like Trump says, make it too big to rig. Talk to people, have the uncomfortable conversations. Because guess what? Right now, most people agree with us. After Saturday, especially, most people agree with us. Trump's street cred, his street cred just keeps amping up. It's good stuff. I'm happy to see it. Speaking of things that I'm happy to see, got another ad read if you guys aren't too offended by that. Let's get this out the way, make a little change. We're going to talk about 5G free for a minute here. Ultimate radiation defense. Protect yourself from harmful radiation with proven solutions. So who's in control of America's nukes? Is it Biden? No. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida with full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. The world is at its most unstable point since World War II, except now, with nuclear weapons. The stakes are 10 times higher. How do people like you and I stay safe? Every prepper needs to have Radio Guard ASE, Radio Guard A's, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds have it until now. That's why I partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has a supply of Radio Guard A's and the ability to prescribe it prophylactically. Get on top of that. Get their radiation emergency kit with Radio Guard A's, potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter. There's simply no other tool in your arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat. Go to 5gfree.com/studio and use the code STUDIO to save 10%. Well, maybe I'd get a radiation kit. It's a good idea to have one. It's good to have. It's good to have potable water as a prepper, have a little shelf-stable food, radiation kit. Why not? That's 5gfree.com/studio, code STUDIO. All right. Hope you guys like that. I tried to make it fun. I tried to give it a little bit of pep. But anyways, I think we've pretty much covered the RNC about as much as we can. I actually have to step away for just one moment. So if you guys can be patient, I will be back in a matter of minutes, maybe a minute and a half, 90 seconds, we'll see. But I'll be right back, and we are going to get into analysis of the shooting. We're going to watch the video, we're going to go through it, we're going to play some of the slow-mos that just let you know we were a quarter inch, mere centimeters away from a completely different country. I think that we would have riots in the street if they would have taken Trump out. And by they, the ad reads are fascinating. Thanks, Miss Minimel. That was an interesting one. I didn't expect that. I didn't think the 5G free would be about that. But hey, you know what? Get after it. But I will be right back. We're going to get into that shooting and break it down a little bit. I've watched it a lot, so got a lot to say. And I'm back. Thank you for your patience. Oh, looks like we got a few more people in. If you guys have not liked the stream, please like it. Share it out if you want. If you think what I'm doing here is worth sharing out, that is. No, if you can't tell, I still have this awesome cape on from my placeholder video. If you guys didn't get a chance to see the placeholder video, my apologies. And also, thank you guys so much. We broke over 300 followers here on Rumble, so I figured why not do a little bit of a 300 themed placeholder video. So poor little pink bunny back there got a good kick, front thrust kick earlier. I don't know, felt like being a little bit silly, doing a fun little thing there. Hopefully, I know a couple people said they really liked it, so hopefully somebody got a chuckle out of watching that placeholder video. It's like 47 seconds, but currently I have it up on my X Dozer74. So thank you guys for getting me to 300. I really appreciate that. Can't wait till we get to 500. That's the next goal. If we can get to 500 followers here on Rumble, that would be amazing. Awesome stuff. And like I said, I do this to inform and entertain. That's the goal. If I can help somebody get a little bit more information about something and maybe get a little bit of a chuckle, you know what? That's what it's about. Yeah, there are the ad reads, there are Rumble rants, there are subscriptions, and those things are absolutely appreciated. If you felt so inclined to send a Rumble rant, there's a little $sign, and there's also a little red button, a subscribe button. It's $5 a month. One of the great things about subscribing to this channel is you'll be able to get around ads in the app and in general, and you get special emotes. I'm going to add to that catalog. By the way, subscribers that are currently on, I am going to add to that catalog of special emotes. I think you have to be on the computer, like on a laptop, to be able to access those emotes. I don't see them in the app on the phone yet, so hopefully that'll be coming around soon. I know I see that you can raid, which I don't know how to raid yet, but I'm going to figure that out. I think I'm going to, before we end our stream tonight, I'm going to try to raid somebody who's live. So we'll see if I can get that figured out. And I saw it popping up in the app at the top. So yeah, I'm we're going to be talking about the shooting a little bit here. I think the best way to start this topic off is to just play the video. I've got the C-SPAN audio, which is actually, crazy enough, one of the best audios I've heard. I spent, after I did my emergency stream in the car, I ended up going on with Cool Frog. Cool Frog, by the way, KOOLFROG. I don't think there's two G's. There might be two G's. I want to get this right. He's probably going to be on till late into the night. That man streams like a beast. We were on until 5 o'clock in the morning. He moved over to his locals after the Rumble stream, but we watched the videos over and over again. Slow mode. It's amazing. The hand of God was on Trump's head and said, "Just turn a little bit, buddy. Just give me a little bit of a turn." I absolutely believe that with my whole heart. God was present with Trump, and thank God that he was using a speech prop. If he wouldn't have been doing the crowd work and then look into the prop. Crowd work, look at the prop. That's what he was doing. And we actually have, after we watched the video from C-SPAN, we've actually got the video of Trump's ear getting pierced by the bullet. And goodness gracious, guys, we were so close. We were so close to this nation being on fire. Yeah. And that would have been the justification to crack down on the right-wing extremists, the MAGA extremists, the DVEs, domestic violent extremists, as their Department of Justice, you despicable scum in the federal government. Eat all the garbage. Eat it because you deserve it. That's all you deserve. You just deserve to eat the filth. The federal government that currently is going after the regular American, regular red-blooded American, just for being proud of this country, just for wanting babies to live, and they're going to freaking persecute people for praying in an abortion clinic. Screw that. No, They wanted people to pop off so that they could have an excuse to get after the guns. It's one of the things you've already seen. Maybe this will inspire the Republicans to be for gun control. I don't care what gun the dude used. He could have been, if he actually, God, actually, probably, if he would have been using a deer rifle, a bolt action 270, would have had more punch than the little AR. I guess if he's using a 5.56, maybe. Sully's the guy who knows gun stuff, so I might be talking out my butt, but I'm pretty sure my dang deer rifle's got a little bit more punch than a little AR. Just saying. Just saying. There's a lot of speculation about the shooting. Some people think that there were two. I've seen some interesting evidence that shows there's a clip of the water tower, and it looks like somebody was on top of the water tower too. Now, I don't know who that might have been. I don't know if that was a Secret Service individual scouting out the place. Maybe he was a counter sniper, and he might have been the one who took him out. I don't know. We've learned a lot, and there's a difference between LIHOP, let it happen on purpose, and MIHOP, made it happen on purpose. I was LIHOP. I was. Until Kim Cheadle said something about the slope of the building, and that's why there wasn't somebody from the Secret Service on the building, because of the slope. Oh my God, an extreme slope. It was a MAGA slope. It was too dangerous for the Secret Service to get up there. But then you see the image of the counter snipers on the damn roof right by Trump, to the right of Trump, and it's more sloped, but it was too dangerous to get. So at that point, that's a bullshit fucking response from her. Absolutely disingenuous as hell. There's no way that she thought that was going to go over well. I just can't. I cannot think that she thought that was going to go over well. You horrible liar. Horrible liar. That's what makes me think it's MIHOP. Made it happen on purpose. That one right there, when she said that shit, nah, you lost me. You lost me. You guys tried to take Trump out. You absolutely tried to kill Donald Trump. And it's interesting that Trump talked to RFK Jr. for a few hours after it happened. Very interesting. Man, for a second there, I thought he was going to go with RFK Jr. I'm like, it's going to be a tough sell for his abortion stance. A lot of good things about RFK Jr., though. And if he can get him involved with some investigations into the shots and vaccines in general, ooh, buddy, that could be interesting. The shooting. Let's go ahead and find. Let's see. There it is. I got the C-SPAN. Oh, darn it. There it is. I'm going to pull this C-SPAN video up of the shooting. Thought I had it pulled up. There we go. Yep, we got it. I got it. I'll let this ad play, and then I'll start sharing the screen. C-SPAN's got to make some money. I understand. This ad will end in 2, 1. Okay, that is the wrong thing. That is not what I wanted. Not what I wanted, C-SPAN. Not what I wanted. Come on now. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right. Appreciate your guys' patience. See, we lost a few people. Oh, no. And to the people on X, if you're still watching, thank you as well. I appreciate you. Check PMs. Ooh. Did you send me something, Sully? What you got? Let me pull it up on my phone here. I got you. All right. The Dropbox. Yeah. Tonight we're probably going to just be me rambling. We might break it down on another stream though, or I might go on. If you're planning on breaking it down, I might pop in. We'll see. We'll see how it starts flowing. But right now, I definitely appreciate the offer there. So what we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and cover this. I'm going to play this C-SPAN video because for some reason C-SPAN's got the best audio. you can even hear him saying, wait, let me get my shoes. So we're going to go ahead and play the actual video, and we're going to break it down a little bit. We're going to talk about it. I think the best thing to do, like I said, is to just actually watch it. And let me get my screen a little bit bigger for you guys. And as always, let me know if the audio is too high or too low. And let me start sharing my screen here. I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching this, it was something. It was something. Crazy stuff. But let's go ahead and play it and turn the audio down a little bit for you. Come out there.
What happened to our country? Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move it there. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go.
This is good audio.
All guys here. Move it to the stand. Get ready. We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Okay, what's up?
That moment right there. To try to take you're gonna try to take out the king, you best not miss. And the buffoon woman there that couldn't holster her weapon, that was insane. That was downright insane. Like that one. Got him in. There she is. Oh, do a double check. Act like we're a secret agent. Then go ahead and get it in. She couldn't reholster her weapon. She pulled her weapon
look
for some
here.
reason. Yeah, that I don't know about y'all, but that last scream. That last scream, every time I hear it, just sends chills down my spine. I pulled over. I was driving whenever I saw that, and I pulled over, and I was just like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" I thought Trump was done. I thought they got him. And I say they because, like I said, they wanted to take Trump out. The establishment absolutely wanted to take Trump out. They thought they were going to get him. I almost guarantee you that they thought that their plans were going to succeed. They didn't expect the RNC to have Trump at it. I don't think they did. I'm sipping on a little Woodford Reserve tonight. So there's a timeline of events. With the shooting. And let me see if I've got it saved here. If not, I think I took a screenshot. That's not what I was wanting there. Go to bookmarks. I will say this. X has hips just out below belt. Forces the top of hips just out below the belt. Forces the... That's a great point there. Yeah. The hips jut out below the belt, forces the top of the holster into her body. Yeah, it was the angle. She couldn't get it to slide back in there. But the thing of her trying to make it look like do the whole thing, pull it back out because she couldn't get it back in, and then to pull it back out and then look around and then go ahead and put it. It's like, I get it. Nobody knows how they're going to react. Nobody knows how they're going to react in that situation, and especially in a situation where you haven't had to worry about something like this for 43 and a half years. Reagan was the last one. You're not ready for it until it happens, and this is going to change things up, and I think, at least I hope, this changes up the training. And I love women. I do. I love you ladies. The few ladies that watch, I love you. But when it comes to the Secret Service detail for the president of a man who's over 6 feet tall, maybe you need giant men. Maybe I'm a short little sumbitch. I'm 5'6" on a good day. You wouldn't want me there. I mean, I'm wide, but I ain't got the height. You want giant men to be able to shield the president, be a human shield for the president. And that's what those Secret Service agents did. Now, the ones that got on top like that, the ones that hopped on him, those people, absolutely, heroes. Great job. What I have a problem with is the leadership. The leadership that allowed this to happen. Nay, made it happen. Because now we know the Secret Service had people in the building. They had people in the building, and apparently they chose a second-story window as their counter snipe spot. That's what the last I heard was, that they had somebody in a two-story at the second-story window of that building. Apparently, the local police, the local authorities, had no clue. They had no clue that Secret Service was there. Yeah, human bullet traps. That's the Secret Service. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But the local police were thinking about doing something with that building. And when you look at the damn, what is it? The whole Pac-Man thing that they had, that was just fascinating. That his position just happened to be in the mouth of Pac-Man that nobody's at. No, it doesn't. That ship don't float. Okay, the ship don't float. You cannot tell me. Yeah, the ones in the. Oh well, I'm not sure. Because I thought I heard the fella, one of the local guys. Let me pull my bookmarks up. Let's see if we can play his real quick. Oh, come on. Where's he at? Ooh, real quick. I'm going to pull this up before we get more into that. This, I think this video is real. I haven't seen a community note pop up. There's 5 million views on it right now. So if somebody was going to fact check it, they would have fact checked it by now. We're going to pull this up real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll just say this. I'll pull it up. And then make my commentary here on it. So this right here. Let me blow this up.
You see something that said, take a look what happened.
See that? Right there.
Take a look what happened.
Chécate ahí.
And if he wouldn't have turned again, boom, just that little boom. So that probably got his hair even. Just the absolute. If that video is real, my God, that is the first of all, coolest ear piercing you could ever get. Amazing that was able to happen. Oh, we've made it bigger. No, it's not what I wanted. Yeah, we're going to talk about the response from lefties like Kyle Gass here in a second. We're going to talk a little bit more about the stuff that we know. At least the last I heard, I haven't done much reading today. I've been kind of busy, but it appears that if they didn't make it happen, make it happen on purpose. They sure as hell let it happen on purpose. One of the things with an event like this is, and this was the first phrase that popped into my head was the fog of war. Like with Ukraine and Israel and every other war, you have the fog of war. Nobody knows for sure what the hell is going on. It was everything was so fluid. As we were on the stream with Cool Frog for 4 hours, more information was coming out then, finding out who the dang shooter was. And we thought it was a guy named Dominique at one point, and it comes out that it's this Thomas Matthew Crooks. Apparently, his parents are counselors. His father might be a Republican. He was technically registered Republican, which is the message they're going to go with about it. Oh, he was a registered Republican. Yeah, in a state where you can register, you can switch up your registration like that to vote against somebody. Possibly, he might have been involved in these primaries and voted for Nikki Haley or something like that. A deep state shill. Voted against Trump, essentially. I don't care if he was registered Republican. Apparently, he donated to Act Blue, which is a leftist, fund. Apparently, he donated like $15 or $20 to them. His friends have said that he was his classmates. I don't want to say his friends because apparently he sounds like he was a bit of a loser. But then somebody else said that he actually did have a decent friend group. So who knows? Like I said, fog of war. The information is all over the place. Here's one thing that I will say. 20-year-old male. You're going to tell me he has no social media presence whatsoever? None? Yeah, he wasn't old enough to vote in 2020. That's right. But no, I'm talking about the primaries. If he was, even though he registered earlier, he still could have. I was meaning he might have voted in these primaries. That's what I was meaning by that. But even if he was registered as a Republican, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter to me. Sounds like the guy was a lefty. Apparently he told a classmate that he was an idiot for liking Trump. Said he was really stupid for liking Trump. Apparently he hated all politicians, though. Apparently they tell me if you guys think this stinks or not. Apparently they found his phone and nothing was on it. I don't care how good you are with the computers. There's some way to retrieve something off your phone. Apparently he had 2 phones, though. The last report that I saw, he had 2 phones. So that makes me think one of them was a burner phone. Yeah, registered to vote for anyone but DJT. I'm thinking if one of these phones was completely blank and he had 2 phones on him, one of those was a burner phone, most likely. Maybe it was a burner phone that had a remote switch that could, from somewhere else, be completely wiped so that you couldn't see the friendly older individual who was a little bit more, trained and stuff like this that might have mentored him and inspired him. Made it happen on purpose. Apparently he said something like, my debut will be on July 13th. Let's start calling it J13. How about that, guys? Let's use their tactics against them. Let's talk about the J13 incident. Let's talk about the J13 assassination attempt on the future president of the United States. Yeah, let's use their tactic. They try to do the J6 crap, which I call what it was, Certification Day 2021, where MAGA supporters, Trump supporters, lost their lives that day. No officers lost their lives that day. No officers lost their lives as a result of the riot on one side of the Capitol on Certification Day 2021, January 6th, 2021. We know that there was federal involvement in that as well. When Miss Cheadle comes out and says the reason that they didn't put Secret Service on that roof another sniper, counter sniper group. It doesn't make sense to me. You would think you have the ones on the roof beside him to the right. You would think that you would have somebody without keeping them in the line of fire facing the other way to track. And I think I saw that there were 3 teams of snipers, counter snipers, something like that. I said on that night on the stream with Cool Frog that, we're armchair quarterbacking this. And I sure as hell am. I don't have any experience in that. But I do know that you have your awareness up. You've got to be able to take into consideration everything that could possibly go wrong. That's what you've got to do. And they knew that this was a problem. They actually had, let me find it real quick. They had the knowledge that not sure what Sally said. By the way, dang it, I forgot to say, check out Sally. Talk with Sally on Rumble and I think YouTube and X. She's doing great stuff. So give her a follow if you can. Talk with Sally. What's meant R? I don't know what that message means. I have no clue. Is your stream still going? I don't know. Sorry. Trying to deal with do these messages on the side here. But they're all the evidence indicates that they let either, if you want to be charitable, let it happen on purpose. But I think they made it happen on purpose. I think you probably had somebody who was giving this guy encouragement, kind of like they did with the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot, right? Most of the people involved were feds. Yeah, look into that one. But Biden invoked that. Biden dared talk about all these other cases of violence. No, man, focus on what's currently happening. The most epic ear piercing I've ever seen. If Trump really wants to capitalize on it, if he's still got enough ear on the outside of that to keep it a circle, put a MAGA pin in there. I don't know, maybe. Something to think about. The response from the left has been insane. And I think I said it at the start of the stream. I think that this can be an opportunity for things to calm down. I think that speech that Trump just gave is a great message. Unify. I'm here for everybody. I'm not trying to take away your freedoms. Maybe the damn left can stop calling him a dictator for 5 fucking minutes. Maybe actually treat him like a human being and stop dehumanizing the man. He's not a demon. He's not Hitler. When you have the crazy individuals, I think I played it on a stream a few weeks ago, the quote unquote, the bull dyke from Orange is the New Black, that actress came out and said that it literally was 1940s Germany, and it literally was, or 1930s Germany, and it literally was Hitler. No, he's not. He's a man. He's a man that cares about the country. And I absolutely believe that the man does give a crap about this country and wants to see us succeed. He's got a bunch of grandkids. He wants to leave this country better off for them and for the people. I don't think that Trump would be doing what he's doing if he didn't actually give a crap. He's lost so much from doing what he's been doing. Apparently Thomas Crooks, switching back to the shooter, apparently he had a device, like a remote activation device, to set off some explosives, apparently. And I just got to bring up, you guys remember that, was it 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate just went missing last year? Big box truck of ammonium nitrate, just gone. Where did it go? Where did it go, George? Where did that ammonium nitrate go? We don't know. Just missing tons of ammonium nitrate. Press X to doubt on that one, y'all. Press X to doubt on that one. Not seeing it. Not seeing it at all. Apparently he had explosives in a van. Some individuals have come out and said that there are multiple shooters. Maybe. I don't know until we know for sure. I can't say one way or the other. I think in the C-SPAN audio, you heard like 5 shots, 4 shots, I think total of 9 shots, but there's some audio that's showing 11 or 12 shots. And I don't know if that's because they have multiple audio streams laid out. Another person you could follow, Common Censored, here on Rumble, old Sterling. Really good show, Monday through Friday. Good stuff. Worth checking out. I think they might still be streaming. I don't know. But I'm going to try to figure out how to raid here in a little bit. We'll try to get stuff sent over. I told my wife that I was going to try to keep this under 3 hours. We're at 2.5, so I'm going to probably do a little bit of talk about how the left responded to the attempted assassination of President Trump. And I'm going to keep calling him President Trump because that's what you do. You respect the office of the individual who is president. You refer to them as president. They're president for the rest of their lives. They earned the title. They got that title. I mean, I still say President Obama. He was the president. Not a great one. Not a great one, that's for sure. But people say he's the greatest. Why? Give me a good reason why he's the greatest. No, absolutely not. The response from the left, and I don't think this is everybody, guys. I don't, but they're the ones that are getting the attention of, we got a short little clip here from Sky News Australia, actually, and then we'll get into the see you, Miss Minnie Appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much. Good night. Rest well. We're going to play a little clip from Sky News Australia. There it is. Of one of these lefties freaking out. I don't even know if you count. I don't know if you can call them Democrats or lefties. I don't know what you call these people. But literally sad, freaking out because Trump didn't die. And I, at that point, that is the reprobate mind. There's no reaching them. They're so full of sin and hatred that there is no point in trying to reach them. If they eventually come around to it, great, but they're too far gone. Some of these people are so far gone that I don't know if they're worth the effort, worth the energy of trying to show them something different. The reprobate mind is beyond. It's beyond help. And some of these individuals, absolutely, I believe, are on beyond help. I had to go to a Facebook link for this. Not logging in, though. Bring it up here. And I'm not going to crank up the volume because this shrieking harpy, not the people on the newscast, but the woman on the TikTok video. We'll go halfway there. See if we can't play this real quick, talking about the left's response. And it's not going to play now. Really? You're going to make me refresh, aren't you? No. My audio is not coming through, is it? Audio keeps turning off. Come on up. No? Well, I thought I was going to be able to share this. Let me see. Let me try this.
Donald Trump has indeed survived. I mean, listen to this woman.
I just found out about this.
I'm going to crank that down a little bit.
I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away!
Oh, seriously, Brad, these people are absolutely insane.
Demented, demonic, disturbing. These are the only words I have. And guys, I wish it was just one video on TikTok. At this point, I've probably seen 15 to 20, each with hundreds or thousands of comments lamenting the fact that the shooter missed Donald
sad state
Trump
the world's
and
in,
didn't
guys.
effectively assassinate him. And look, obviously it's the internet, so there's always some crazy people out there. But the fact that there's so many young people on this app, and look, I report on TikTok, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on there, but this one still takes the cake. They're worshiping or lamenting the fact that their political opponent wasn't assassinated. They're memeing and joking about an incident where innocent bystanders were shot and killed. Something is deeply broken in the minds and in the political sensibilities and in the online culture.
I don't think that they
These people are so consumed.
play any
it
more
just
clips
it
of this one. They're
demonstrates
just
a complete
Thank you so much for your time
opining
tonight.
about it. So we'll go ahead and drop that one. But yeah, there's one. And then one that really bothered me. I know Jack Black came out recently and endorsed Biden, had the the American flag suspenders and all that. I cringy as hell. I think the man was either paid off or threatened, or family threatened. I don't know, to do that. Probably paid. Let's be a little bit less nefarious in our assumptions and think that he was just paid to endorse Biden. But Kyle Gass, the bandmate in Tenacious D, I guess it was his birthday the next day. And they came out with a birthday cake, and he made a wish. And I don't know if this has audio over it, but let's see. Probably should have played this before I actually brought it up, huh?
Australian senators have called for the deportation of Tenacious D after Kyle Gass made this comment on stage.
Make a wish, Canada. Don't miss Trump next time.
Jack Black has since said he was speechless and blindsided by his bandmate's comment. Australian senators have called for the deportation of Tenacious D after...
Now, I'm all for free speech. I'm a free speech absolutist. You can say whatever the hell you want. You sure can. But Kyle Gass, go fuck yourself, buddy. You tub of fucking lard. You disgusting, despicable little slimy bitch-made boy. Like, no. No. Absolutely not. I don't think that was a joke. People are like, oh, comedians can't make jokes. I don't think he was joking. Just like that woman, that crazy shrieking harpy of a woman. I don't think that she was joking. I don't think she actually doesn't mean it. I think they wholeheartedly wish that Trump would have died. I think, and the fact that people in the crowd clapped, people clapped for that shit. And Jack Black, the man thing would have been to confront your bandmate right there and say, that was fucked up, man. You shouldn't have said that. That was messed up. Australia does not have free speech, from what I understand, and that's why that senators were calling for their deportation, and then venues started canceling. That is the vote with your dollar. That is the mighty dollar making a point. And Jack Black came out and said he was sorry, and I don't know if I've got the damn thing, but he said, I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. That's a nice comment there, Jack Black. But man, you should have said something right then. That would have made a lot. It would have spoken volumes if you would have said something right then. But the fact that you don't, the fact that you're only making a comment now after venues are canceling on you, if they wouldn't have canceled on you, would you have said a damn thing? No, I don't think you would have. I don't. And that actually sucks to say, because I kind of like Jack Black. But, I mean, surely not for his politics. But I thought he wasn't a piece of garbage. Apparently his buddy Kyle is, though. Absolutely disgusting human being. I don't think he was joking. Again, I don't know the man's soul. Maybe he was, but I think he's only sorry because he got in trouble. I think they're only sorry and apologizing because of the backlash. That's what I think. Sorry, I started tapping my foot there. The camera is getting a little crazy. No, I don't buy it. I don't think you're actually sorry. So your apology falls flat, sir. It's messed up. You've got to stop it. Just freaking look at each other like we're human beings. That's the main thing. Look at each other like we're human beings. The left's response has been disappointing. Disappointing. I feel like the bubble has popped, though. I feel like the bubble of tension that has been building in this country, if you guys, I don't know, let me know if I'm wrong in the chat, but have y'all been feeling like it's just been building and building and building? Like something has been building, it's been building up to something. Like that's what it's been feeling like. It's been feeling like the bubble's just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's been getting tighter and tighter, and just the slightest little, little dust particle hits that bubble and it will pop. And then all chaos. That's what it's been feeling like. But I think that the shooting, the assassination attempt on President Trump, I think the bubble popped, or at least some tension got released out of it. I feel like it has. I feel like you've got a lot more people now that are really hesitant to say that they support somebody like Biden. And you got a lot more people like me that are literally walking around town, going in and out of stores with my MAGA AF, America First, shirt and a cape. Yeah. That lady Dozer, she pinned the cape onto my collar here. There's a lot more people that are ready to speak up, ready to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're behind him now. Any of the misgivings that I had, any of the hesitation that I had about Trump after they tried to take him out, nope, gone. And the fact they're trying to say it was staged, you cannot tell me that somebody would have been able to make that shot intentionally. There's just no way. There's no way. The way it played out, the way he turned his head at the last moment, it just cannot be anything other than a God thing. It's a God thing. If just that last moment, that last turn. Oh, here's one right here. Oh, here's a good little one. Luke Rukowski posted from. We'll watch this really quick here. I'm going to pull this one up, and then we're going to move on to the Biden story and wrap things up because I am past my wife's bedtime. Not my bedtime. I'll stay up all night, but let me bring this up really quick. Cool little video from Luke Rukowski, and then we'll do the Biden video and wrap things up. Okay. Bring this up a little bit bigger. There we go. That looks good. So look at that right there. Look at that right there. You've got the Secret Service snipers reported to have killed the gunman. So they're back here. Gunman's up on this roof. Sniper's view possibly blocked by a tree. There's another sniper. So there's a sniper. There's a sniper. Trump on stage. So Trump is on stage, and I guess these are the guys that are up on that roof that you see with the guy who popped his head off of the scope, and then they went back up at it. So he was looking at him. This guy, I guess, is the one that took him out. And there's Trump. And Trump, man, that just let's see. Oh, whoa, that's okay. Yeah, yep. Let's play this real quick. And the people right behind to the side. Not sure what the dramatic music was for, but yeah, that's I can't think that it was just incompetence. Here's the interesting thing. Secret Service was watching a guy scoop and point a gun at the stage for over 26 minutes, and they still decided to keep Trump on stage. I think the senators had a closed-door meeting with the Secret Service about this, and they knew that the man was, Thomas Crooks, was walking around with a rangefinder before he got up on the roof. A rangefinder. Nobody thought that was worth, hey, you need to go now. We need to go ahead and detain you because you're suspicious as hell and we think you're going to shoot somebody. Nobody thought that. The man was just walking around. People were pointing him out. But the thing is, it doesn't even matter that people were pointing the man out. They knew he was up there. They knew he was up on that roof for, I think, 9 minutes before Trump took the stage. They let Trump take the stage with somebody on the roof pointing a gun at him, pointing a gun at the stage. You cannot tell me that that wasn't a made it happen on purpose. If we can get into his phone stuff and figure out who was telling him to do, telling him what to do, I think we're going to be a made it happen on purpose. When she made that comment about the slope of the roof, I'm thinking they made it happen on purpose. I guess I'm not 100% made it happen on purpose. At least 60 to 75% made it happen on purpose. When the ladder, apparently the ladder was there before. There's, like I said, the fog of war. It's a serious fog of war. Yeah, there he was, just walking around 1 hour before the shooting, just walking around, just doing his thing, just chilling, just walking around up there. There's the TMZ video, of course, of him getting popped. Thank you guys for watching again. I do appreciate you. We're almost at 3 hours, so we're probably going to cap it at 3. I am going to play after we I don't think it was a failure. It says failure. They let this happen for sure. I'm 100% let it happen on purpose. I'm at 60 to 70% made it happen on purpose. When I see information that shows that he was in contact with a friendly older individual who guided him online, when we see that, I'll be 100% made it happen on purpose. Definitely they let it happen. Let me see. This is let's go ahead and transition into the happy story. Well, heck, I got 8 minutes. Let's go ahead and we'll talk. I gave a little bit of a blurb about the stuff going on with the Southwest Key. Southwest Key's got, I think Sully was saying, 29 facilities across the country where they house unaccompanied minors, and it turns out that they've been hurting. Hey, Mama Mac, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. We're at 3 hours, so I'm probably going to be wrapping up in the next 10 minutes or so. But I sincerely appreciate you joining, Mama Mac. Mama Mac coming over from Common Censored, Lord Sterling on X, I believe. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you joining. Right at the tail end of my stream here. We're going to go for a little bit longer yet, but we will be wrapping up here in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, hey, appreciate you joining for a little bit. Let me look at what I got going on here. Make sure my stream is going okay. All right, we're good. We're good. Ooh, Biden's getting slow. Apparently, well, back to the Southwest Key thing, and I mentioned that actually in the chat earlier about the DOJ being complicit, being absolutely complicit. Well, since I'm talking, let's go ahead and cover it real quick. It's a short article. We're going to pull it up here. The largest housing provider. That did not come up, did it? Interesting. We're going to stop screen share. Just got done over. Yeah, okay. Hey, cool deal. Thanks for coming over from Common Censored. You guys should be following Common Censored, by the way, here on Rumble and on X and on Truth Social. I've been trying to share out the links because he has a great show Monday through Friday, a little bit earlier than me. I think he wraps up usually right before my 9:30 stream on Thursday. So I think he goes from like 5 or 6 to 9:30. I think it's 6 to 9:30 if I'm not mistaken. Miss Mama Mac in the chat will probably be able to give us a certain timeline of the streams. I try to pop in when I can, but not as often as I would like. But all right, I'm going to pull up this article really quick. We're going to hit this Southwest Key story, and then we'll pop over to Biden. The shooting, there's been a whole bunch of videos breaking it down. I don't think that they planned. I don't think it was staged. It's absolutely okay. So Common Censored is on Monday through Friday, 6:30 to ish p.m. Pull that up really quick for you. Great stuff. Great stuff. They've got good stories. Kind of a similar vein. His production value is way higher than mine, though. I'll say that. I'll give him props. He does a great job on his show. Really like what he's doing there. Getting the information out there, doing it in a fun way. He's got a good soundboard. That's something that I want to start working on, getting a little bit more professional with how I'm doing my streams, because I've got some really witty ideas for like sounds and stuff like that. There's the debate with Trump and Biden. At one point, Trump was mocking Biden, and he went, he says that because I said it. He makes a little noise, and that soundbite, I want that for just that mocking little noise that Trump did. It was great. That's one that I actually took a little video of, and we'll get that on there. We'll make it happen. But I'm going to share this really quick. Again, thank you guys so much for joining. Almost at 3 hours here. Appreciate everybody. If you haven't followed the channel, BillDozer74 here on Rumble. I'm Dozer74 on X. BillDozer74 on YouTube as well. If you want to go over to CommieTube, I'm not focused on that platform because, well, they don't appreciate free speech. And this platform, Rumble, is a free speech platform. It ain't perfect, but no platform is. So I think it's one of the best ones we got. So I'm all behind Rumble for sure. Speaking of being all behind Rumble, let's get in one more ad read out of the way. Because, you know what, might as well. And then we'll get into this article really quick. So we've got, looks like Patriot Shave Razors. Let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor tonight. Patriot Shave, backed by over 2,000 five-star customer reviews and a satisfaction guarantee. Patriot Shave offers premium quality razors at affordable prices, but even better, they are a freedom-loving company that is standing up for traditional American values and fighting wokeness. Not like Gillette that wants to show a teenager shaving their fake facial hair. So they're standing up and fighting wokeness, while other big-name razor brands, and I mentioned one, may salute flags or support causes that don't align with your values. Patriot Shave is here for you, the hardworking men and women who love this country and who don't want your hard-earned money to support woke causes. Throw your woke razor in the trash. Go to patriotshave.com right now and use code SWITCH for 15%. That's patriotshave.com, code SWITCH. patriotshave.com, code SWITCH. Now, I've got a beard, but I do shave the neck and I line it up. So I still use a razor. I'm probably going to be looking into Patriot Shave. Yep, worth checking out. Appreciate the opportunity, Rumble Ad Center. All right. Got that in. So let's go ahead and switching from an ad to something a little bit dark here for a second. We're going to talk about the largest housing provider for migrant children engaged in pervasive sexual abuse. The U.S. says, the Department of Justice, guys, the Department of Injustice, we'll say. That's what I like to call them. Austin, Texas, the AP there. Employees of the largest housing provider for unaccompanied migrant children in the U.S. repeatedly sexually abused and harassed children in their care for at least 8 years. The Justice Department said Thursday. It's like, did they know 8 years ago? What are we doing here? Well, come on, guys. Come on, man. What are we doing here? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. 8 years. So what the hell was the Department of Justice doing? Were they just letting kids get hurt? Were they increasing the levels of adrenochrome in these children before they sacrificed them to Moloch? I don't know. Well, I'm going to get a tin hat. That's going to be my prop for my streams. And when it gets to that point, I'm just going to put it on and we're going to go. So alleging a shocking litany of offenses that took place as the company amassed billions of dollars. They were getting paid. They were getting paid to hurt kids, guys. That's what our government does. Our government pays monsters to hurt children. That's what our federal government does. Can't tell me it's an accident. You can't tell me it's a coincidence. They do this on purpose. They put that negative energy out in the world for whatever benefits they're getting from that negative energy. I don't know, but it's absolutely evil and satanic. Yeah. So Southwest Key Programs Incorporated employees, including supervisors, raped, touched, or solicited sex and nude images of children beginning in 2015 and possibly earlier, the Justice Department said in a lawsuit filed this week. At least 2 employees have been indicted on criminal charges relating to the allegations since 2020. Just going to go ahead and say this. Fucking wall. Or my preference actually is scaphism. If you haven't looked into that, that is my favorite form of ending somebody who has hurt kids like this. Scaphism, also known as the boats. It's a lovely, lovely way to go. Well, hopefully it would give the victims some sense of justice. It was not immediately clear how many children are currently in Southwest Keys' vast network of shelters across 3 states, which have room for more than 6,300 children. A Justice Department spokesman declined to comment beyond the lawsuit announcement when asked whether the department recommended that children be removed from the shelters or that the nonprofit contracts be terminated. In some cases, Southwest Key employees threaten children to maintain their silence, the lawsuit says. In harassing these children, Southwest Key employees exploited the children's vulnerabilities, language barriers, and distance from family and loved ones. In a statement, Southwest Key said it was reviewing the complaint and disputed the portrayal of its care for the children. It doesn't mean necessarily that the whole program, program was hurting the kids, but they had enough of them there that it was a problem enough to get out. And they probably hid it. They probably tried to keep it in-house because that's what organizations like this fucking do. They try to keep it in-house and try not to get anybody else involved so that people don't get held accountable and so that their public perception is not damaged. So the nonprofit organization is the largest provider of housing for unaccompanied migrant children, operating under grants from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Good job, DHSS. Or DHHS, whatever. It has 29 child migrant shelters, 17 in Texas, 10 in Arizona, and 2 in California. The company's largest shelter in Brownsville, Texas, is at a converted Walmart with a capacity of up to 1,200. The provider has been a major but somewhat low-profile player in the government's response to the arrival of hundreds of thousands of migrant children traveling alone in recent years and during the separation of thousands of families in 2017 and 2018. Fuck you, AP. Go screw yourself. Yeah, I got a lefty buddy that said that the AP was objective and not corporate media. Yeah, dude, you're freaking blind. You're freaking blind. You're going to throw Trump in there, which, I mean, I do got to ask. I mean, if this was going on under the Trump administration, why the hell was it allowed to continue? We also know that they were hiding a lot of things from Trump and literally kept troops in Syria, more troops in Syria, lied to the president. That's treasonous, not in my opinion. Literally, the people in the military that lied to Trump to keep more troops in Syria, they're guilty of treason and they should be dealt with accordingly. All of you that decided to lie to the commander-in-chief to keep more troops there, you deserve whatever consequence is appropriate for treason in that aspect. 100%. And I hope if it doesn't come to you in this life, maybe you get your just desserts in the next. So the government awarded the provider more than $3 billion in contracts from 2015 to 2023. The Border Patrol must transfer custody of unaccompanied children within 72 hours of arrest to Health and Human Services, which releases most to parents or close relatives after short stays at Southwest Key or shelters operated by other contracted providers. Health and Human Services reported 6,228 children at all of its facilities on June 17th, according to the most recent data on this website, which does not break numbers down by shelter or provider. The department declined to say how many children are currently in Southwest Key care, or if the agency continues to assign children to its facilities. The lawsuit filed Wednesday in Austin, where Southwest Key is based, provides extensive details, saying authorities received more than 100 reports of sexual abuse or harassment at the provider's shelters since 2015. Among the lawsuit's allegations, an employee repeatedly abused 3 girls, 5, 8, and 11, at the Casa Franklin shelter in El Paso, Texas. The 8-year-old told investigators that the worker repeatedly entered their bedrooms in the middle of the night to touch them and threatened to kill their families if they disclosed the abuse. Again, get on the fucking wall. And be ended. The lawsuit also alleges that an employee of the provider shelter in Tucson, Arizona, took an 11-year-old boy to a hotel and paid him to do horrible things. Children were threatened with violence against themselves. Okay, I'm done reading this article. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to read any more of that. Good job. Good job, Department of Justice. letting kids be hurt for years on end. Yeah. So, palate cleanser, guys. Let's talk about something funny. Let's talk about our lighthearted story here at the end of the stream. We're a little bit past 3 hours. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We're going to talk about the fact that Joe, wood chippers. We need ropes, stakes, wood chippers, and rusty spoons for the pedos. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I absolutely agree, Mama Mac. Yeah, it needs to happen. Those people have to be dealt with. I think if we dealt with them in a little bit more severe of a way, maybe there would be less of this happening. Maybe if we actually had a justice system that didn't coddle them and be like, oh, well, it's your first offense. You've been a very good boy for the rest of the time. You've been a very good woman that abuses kids in schools. You know what? It's just fine. It's just, it's fine. That boy didn't get hurt. No, he did. He did. And these people don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. If it was their first offense, I don't care. You did something so heinous that you deserve the ultimate penalty in the most severe way possible. Again, scaphism or the boats. Let's see if I can find this really quick. We've got a little bit of a Biden, stuff to do here. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Oh, doing a little bit of backtracking. The timeline that I saw from Unusual Whales on X about the shooter, 5:10 p.m. Crooks, the shooter identified as a person of interest. 5:30 p.m. Crooks spotted with a rangefinder. 5:52 p.m. Crooks spotted on the roof by Secret Service. 6:02. So that's 10 minutes. 10 minutes that he was on the roof. The Secret Service spotted him on the roof. 6:02, Trump takes the stage. 6:12, Crooks fires first shots. They absolutely let it happen on purpose, if not made it happen on purpose. That's where I'm at. There we go. Okay, I have found we have a 2-minute short clip. This is our light-hearted story because it's hilarious that Biden says that this is just him not being able to speak, but he said recently that if a doctor said there was a severe enough medical condition that he would drop out of the race. And then less than 42 hours or less than 24 hours later, positive for COVID and barely able to get up the stairs. They're giving him an out. That's what it looks like. This is going to be the surprise medical condition that takes him out of the race. I don't think he's going to resign from the presidency, although technically he should. But actually, go, Joe, go. You got this, Joe. Come on, man. You're the strongest guy. Let's do some push-ups. I bet you could beat me, Joe. Bet you could beat me in push-ups. You're a solid, strong man. Strong young whippersnapper, Joe. Keep going. Keep going, Joe. We need you. Is Kamala going to do better? No. She's awful. That harpy. Ugh, cackling Kamala. Let's share this real quick. This is our fun story. This is our what the hell did Biden just say? Segment of we'll do that. What the hell did Biden just say? That's our segment.
About why he got involved in the first place here. Look, I got out of school, high school, and my state was segregated by law to its great shame in Delaware. And I got involved.
What? What did he just say?
And my state was segregated by law to its great shame in Delaware.
State was segregated by law.
And I got involved in the civil rights movement. No great shakes, just sit-ins and, and things like that. And the end result of this was all the friends I made. For example, one of the guys who my mom talks about when Barack called me and saying he wanted to do a background check on me because he wanted to think of me as vice president. I said, I don't want to be vice president. And he said, no, there's only you and two others. He said, Barack, I can help you more as a senator. I really believe that. He said, no. He said, well, damn it, there's only you. And I said, Brock, I don't want to be vice president. He said, well, go home and talk about it. He knows my parents, my mom, my dad's dead. So we had a meeting. I was on the train and then going back to Wilmington. And when I got home, we sat in the back porch and called the family together. My son was alive then, my two sons, my daughter. The only outside other than the family member that was there was Ted Kaufman. It was my best friend and was just sitting as a stepped in as senator when I got elected vice president.
What?
And so we went around the room. What do you on the porch? What do you want to do? And my wife said, you ought to do it because if you don't, he's going to ask you to be Secretary of State and you'll be away all the time. And then my son, Bo, who was Attorney General, should be sitting there, not me. And I said, Dad, you have an obligation, went through it. And so everybody made their case, and I still didn't want to do it. My mom was sitting against a railing and over on the porch. It's like a story up from the foot ground.
Do you guys know what the hell he's saying? Do you guys have any idea what the hell Biden is saying right now? He's.
And I said, honey, you haven't said anything. She said, Joey, she said, remember when you were a kid? Remember when I called you when you got out of the race with Barack and you asked about him? He said, he's really bright. He's up.
So when you were a kid, but when you got out of the race with Barack, was he racing Barack when he was a kid? What?
Honorable man, will make you a good president. And I said, yeah, Mom, I remember that. I said, remember when you were a kid and they were desegregating Mayfield, the neighborhood we live, the neighboring neighborhood called Linfield? You were 14 or 15 years old. I told you not to go down there because there were people protesting, but you went down and you got arrested for being on the porch with a black family. And they brought you back home. I said, yeah, I remember that, Mom. She said, remember you had that job as a lifeguard in a country club setting? You wanted to be the only white guy to work in the east side in the projects as a lifeguard? I said, yeah, Mom. So let me get this straight, honey. The first black man in history has a chance to be president. You told him no. That's how it's always been with me in the black community. It's about.
Oh, mashed potato brain. Profound statements from Mr. Mashed Potato Brain. Yeah, fun stuff. Well, all right, guys. All right. We're at over 3 hours. My wife is probably very mad at me right now because it's almost 1 o'clock in the 1 o'clock in the morning here where I'm at. Said I was going to try to keep it to 2 hours, but we are at over 3. If you haven't followed me yet, follow me at Builders74 here on Rumble. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so. There is a little red subscribe button down there. $5 a month, you get extra emotes and no ads. I think it's a pretty interesting thing there. I also have a locals community, thedozerden.locals.com. I will be posting my links to the show here, to the show there. I'm going to be trying to post other creators there as well. I think, a rising tide lifts all ships. So if I can share out other people's content, I would like to do so. I would hope they would do the same for me. And some people have for sure. So I think it's good to support each other. So what do we talk about today? We're at the RNC with God Emperor Trump. I say that in jest. Of course, he's not perfect. He gave a great speech. Great wrap-up speech for the RNC. It's been a lot of interesting things at the RNC this year. A lot of drama. I think some great shift in the party that eventually maybe I'll call myself a Republican. If this trend continues, it might happen. Right now, still independent / libertarian minded. But maybe one day. People need to be less judgmental. People need to be a little bit less reactionary to something that's unfamiliar to them. Like someone doing a beautiful rendition of their traditional prayer of goodwill. Why are you going to shun that? Don't do that. It's messed up. We then talked. Yeah, Miss Mama Mac said it right there. Independent for decades. I've been independent since I was 18. When I registered to vote, like I'm independent. I think I might have registered Republican, just to be like, well, if I'm going to pick one or the other, I'm going to pick Republican because the left wants to kill babies, and I am not for that. We then talked about we covered a little bit of the shooting. We watched the video, talked a little bit about that, talked about did a little bit of the slow, the let it happen on purpose, LIHOP for sure. The Secret Service tried to take Trump out. The establishment tried to take Trump out. I almost guarantee you that they did not plan for Trump to be able to speak at the RNC this year. I don't think they did. I think they expected him to be. I think they expected him to the RNC to be a place of mourning. That's what I think. But you God intervened and got Trump to turn his head, because people are saying, oh, Tom McDonald, thank God the left can't shoot or something like that, or can't aim. No, that kid had a shot to kill. It was perfectly lined up to take Trump out. Trump just turned his head ever so slightly. And it saved his life. We talked about the left's response, some of the insane individuals who were sad that Trump didn't get killed. I'm not even going to talk about the cuckold individual. I won't even say his name because he doesn't deserve it. That's a little bit generous. The soy boy cuckold fellow who has a large online presence for some reason, saying that he was glad that the people lost their lives, that Corey lost his life. Corey Comparator, man's a hero. That man died a father, protecting his family, a father and a husband, protecting his family, his daughters, and his wife. Yeah. Rest in peace, man. Talked about Kyle Gass and Tenacious D and their response. I don't think it was a joke. I think the man's just got a rotten soul. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. We then talked about the very light story about the Department of Justice interviewing Southwest Key for the last decade or so about them hurting kids. And then we ended on a high note with Biden saying whatever the fuck he just said. I don't know what he said. There's some of it that you can kind of understand, but then there's also some of it that's like, what the hell? They didn't edit that at all. I don't think. They let that set like a nice good smelling thing there. Biden's going to end up being forced out. It's hilariously farcical, like I said, that he says that a medical condition could take him out of the race, and then 24 hours later, oh, he's got COVID. Oh, he can barely get up the stairs. Oh, he needs help getting in the car. Come on now. That's funny. That's hilarious, in my opinion. Oh, what the hell did Biden just say? Fun times. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Been a little bit long of a stream, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Y'all have a good one.